Hey, what's up, guys? Good morning, good morning. I hope y'all are well today. Alright, so the big name today, team, is obviously Kodak. I mean, Kodak is putting in some crazy moves. Let me lower the volume on my headphones. This is Kodak again, and Mordecai and I were just talking about this. I think this is probably going to come back down. These rarely ever hold these wins like this, and so I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be back down. With that said, though, Kodak is gapping up from 620s all the way to 911. This thing's gapping up about 50%. A big move. You can see it just now spiked up to 941. Kodak has a relatively small float at 57 million. But yeah, this thing's popping off. I think there's going to be a lot of shorts available for this thing. Not available to trade, but I think there's going to be some shorts that present themselves here. If I was shorting this stock, I would look for it under 850, really. 850, whole dollar level, big level, maybe 9 as well. But I think 850, more people are going to use 850 as kind of that line in the sand. Maybe 825 has some support as well. But under those two levels, I think we're going to start to see some breakdowns down to 750 potentially here. But a lot of volume coming in, a lot of moves here for Kodak. And so yeah, we're watching that today, certainly. MYO, yeah, another one that's moving today is MYO. And this thing looks like a very small float. Yeah, 3 million in the float. Gapping up from 380s all the way up to 534s for MYO. We'll keep an eye on this one too. We're going to go over some market news in a second. Let's see. We got PEIX is another one. Gapping up from 480s all the way to 575s here. Big moves. Okay, so yeah, Kodak was cleared of the violations. Man, it's still super shady. Here's the thing with Kodak, guys. And like I said, Mordecai and I were just talking about this. Mordecai and I were just talking about kind of these crazy moves here. But here's the reality for this stock, okay? This stock, a camera company, and this is something that Mordecai actually just said, and it's accurate. Okay, it's a camera company that's putting out a news release that's saying that they're getting involved in the vaccine and pharmaceutical game is just ridiculous. Everybody knows Kodak. It's an obvious pump. Kodak going this huge rip and then having millions of shares sold right around the highs of this. Just make this thing super shady. This is just super shady. This daily chart is super shady. If you guys remember me talking about this one a month ago, a little bit over a month ago, I said in the next month this thing's gonna go this thing's gonna go right back where it started, and I wasn't wrong. Obviously it's popping back up again today, but that thing dropped from $60 all the way down to $6, $5 really. And so these shady moves are happening with Kodak lately. And so I'm highly skeptical, but it's worth a watch as well. We can also look at some of these penny stocks like RETO. RETO, we got MYO, you know, we got PEIX, we got KOPN, BIOC, OAS, and so we got a few little things here, but Kodak obviously the big move. We are going to be trading larger, like I said, that's what we're trying to do today, so we are going to be trying to do that, so wish us luck, team. What's up, guys? Good morning, Trader T, Sam, DS, Diego, Joel, Flexuki, my man. Y'all go check out Flex's channel. Flex has got a really dope channel. Y'all go check it out. What's up, Ralph? What's up, Veronica? What's up, Abdul, Chaz, Tony, Chris, Sam, Bobby, Michael, Nancy, M. Yeah, come on. Hey, what's up, Mordecai? Yeah, what's up?
Hey, now.
There you go. Hold on. Let me get the sound right. Hey, let's do a sound check, guys. We got Mordecai here today. Let me make sure I can hear you. Hold on.
All right.
All right. Say something.
Microphone checker.
Yeah. Oh,
All
oh, let me turn this. I know what I gotta do. I forgot what I gotta turn the music down a little bit, and then I'm gonna turn you up a little bit so that. All right, let's do a check.
right. Everybody can hear me?
That should be good, guys. Let us know if you can hear Mordecai here.
Yeah.
You should be able to. But yeah, he's joining us
Awesome.
today.
Yeah, I'm super excited to jump on with you all. I've been definitely following John for a long time, and obviously, wherever part of the Discord, you see me kind of really participating in the PM chat room and just really preparing everybody for the day.
Yes, sir. Yeah, man, he's been doing free one-on-one sessions with traders too. I even have one with him. Really talented trader. I've known him for a long time, years. And off and on, he's kind of hung out here and helped support the channel. So, a really good trader. Mostly short biased, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, totally. Mostly, I think 100%. I think the L word is you don't say the L word around me.
Hey, I get it. I was like that for a long time too, bro. I used to short, and if I could short right now, I'd probably like one of the latest strategies I've been looking at is the moving average crossover, but from a green to red move. I think green to red moves are super powerful. Those are some of my favorite shorts is green to red moves, but
right. Yep. Yeah, I know. We were just talking about the Kodak like earlier, just like what John had mentioned, like this is just a really crappy company. But if you just look at the basic fundamentals, just look at the float and this, not the other, you're not going to get the really full story. You really have to get into the filings.
For sure.
That's where you'll be able to see all the dirts and stuff like that. Even in chat this morning, Scott was kind of chirping about, I think this has potential to go even higher when it dipped back under a little bit after the big run. But you really have to look at that daily chart, and if you pull it up in the last year, it had that massive run that I think went to $60, right?
Yeah.
So, you don't even have to go back that far. If you just go back in like the day of 8/18 of this year, you can see there is just a major amount of action there, and there's tons of bag holders here.
For sure.
So everybody thought that this was like the next cure for COVID, whatever else that they're trying to do. They got caught wrong, because now when they got pushed to those levels, this is why you had that massive rejection right over the high of the day today.
Yeah, here's the 818 level here, and you can see that huge on the daily chart. You can just see a really big upwick, so just a lot of selling pressure. And I think when you have this, I think a lot of traders are shorting this because it's just such a shady move, regardless of the catalysts or anything else. I think somebody told me that they had millions of shares sold at the top by one trader, one investor, and so somebody on the inside just unloaded some shares, I think, or around the top too. So I think this thing's certainly getting manipulated by the inside, and usually stocks that are getting manipulated, they might have their run, but they're usually never going to hold. I've got a laundry list of stocks I could name off over the years that have done this exact same thing,
Right, totally. And this is just like a quick little nugget here. Again, trying to tell you like what is the really meaning behind these moves. If you just look at the earnings for Kodak, the last couple of quarters, they actually raised their float by 32 million, quarter over quarter. Right. So, and in fact, they're authorized to have up to 560 shares of unloaded shares into the market. So they're currently what's their float?
57 million.
57 million, right? So they still have several million shares they can unload on everybody. So those are the things you need to keep in mind. So if you are looking to be long buys, these are things that, not to say you shouldn't go long, but be mindful. Know what's out there. So maybe this is more of a trade of as a nail and bail, just get in, get out. This is not something you can expect to be a long-term investor on.
Right. Oh, 100%. Hey, this is we had one of those sessions a few days ago on parabolic moves in hot sectors, and one of the common traits of these type of stocks is that they'll put in huge runs like this, and then you'll see them kind of slowly come back down. Here, hold it down, Mordecai. I gotta give my kids a hug goodbye real quick, so hold on.
All right, no worries. Okay. Yeah, so just looking at a lot of the fundamentals when it comes to Kodak, right? Obviously, I consider this like a brand new runner today because it has fresh news, just kind of like John had mentioned earlier that their lawsuit got cleared. So from the outside looking in, it looks like it's great news. But again, just looking at those filings, you'll be able to see, what their true intentions are. The other things you need to keep mindful too, if you're long bias, is going to be that short flow. Okay. Currently, when I look at Finviz, they have a short flow that's just under 30%. So if you got a good chunk of those shares that are actually short biased, that's really going to help, create that short squeeze. So you look at those fundamentals there, get a good understanding of that, because that's going to really help you identify, is this something that it's in my favor? Is this something that's going to hit kind of like my way of trading? Because if it does, then you have every right to be able to take that trade.
Okay, there you go. I was talking to myself over here for a second, but yeah, 100% agree. And I think that's honestly one day. Obviously, I can only go long now because I have a cash account. But one day I would like to start shorting, just because I think I'm naturally a short bias trader, just based off of skepticism, especially of penny stocks. I'm very skeptical of these moves, and I would love to be able to short eventually, because I just think a large majority of them fail, and so you're just gonna have more opportunity.
Totally. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to get long of this guy, just look at those support levels.
For sure.
There's definitely opportunity here. Just pick your levels correctly, and then you have the ability to make some money off of this. So I know you typically kind of go through the news and all that. So if you want, you can kind of go through that, and if there's anything I can add to those, I will.
Yeah, sure. All right. So yeah, we'll start with Kodak. I know they had some charges that I think were let off here this morning. Let me go over the legit catalyst real quick. Okay, so a committee hired by the company finds no laws broken with the loan announcement, and so they were cleared for that potential liability for the loan announcement broken laws. But apparently they didn't find anything broken after they hired a committee, and so everybody has a little bit more renewed optimism. And Kodak, I'm siding with two-way on I'm siding with a lot of people in this one, in that I'm just skeptical of Kodak. I'm skeptical of it. I was definitely skeptical of it when it went up to 60s. I'm definitely skeptical of it still now. And so we'll wait and see. But if I do take this one long, I think I'm going to do what Mordecai said, which is just, I'm going to get it in out quick. I'm not going to try to marry this type of move for sure. This is one of those stocks. There might be some opportunity if it starts to really go crazy, but it's probably not. But I mean, it's possible, but it's probably not.
All right. So what else you got running here too? I think you mentioned Miles, right?
Yeah, I think MYO.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know MYOS as well, but today's MYO.
Blend in, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I know that stock too. I know that one too, and that one ran in the last few weeks, I think too. So, but yeah, MYO is up. Company announced yesterday that the HHS has authorized the company to be a Medicare provider, and so that's a good news. That's a real catalyst. It's going to be able to offer Medicare with its services, and that's that's going to open up some business for it as well, from getting paid by the government. And so MYO is gapping up from 382s to 538. I think the biggest level for this one specifically is $5 and $5.50, maybe $6 as well, but I think these half dollars have had a lot of confirmation. $5.50, $5, touched multiple times on both of those. So
yeah, I'm totally with you here. I mean, it's like, yeah, the news look great, right? It does fit a lot of the criteria that I look for. It's definitely a slow flow, small market cap, right? Mm-hmm. Just looking at the filings there, just an FYI, they do have a shelf of just roughly 48 million shares. They already unloaded 15 million recently, actually early this year. So they still got quite a bit to dump. And then this is the same type of style. Like if you look at Mayo compared to Kodak, they actually had a previous run early on too as well. In the year. Oh yeah. I think it was September 1st.
That was so they had a huge run in February. In February they ran up to 40, and then they went right back down, very similar to Kodak. They went back down in like a day or two.
Exactly. So that's those levels are pretty high up there. So I only just went to, I think it was September 1st is the days that I used to get my levels.
Oh, for sure.
So I'm able to see that, but I think that line that you mentioned at $5 is going to be really important.
Oh, for sure.
Because if it holds $5, it definitely has the chance to get over to the sevens. If it was to fail, then yeah, totally, it's going to be a much weaker stock at that
Oh,
point.
for sure. Yeah, I think one of the things I always try to teach, like especially new traders, is the importance of half and whole dollars and how much stocks follow just these simple half and whole dollar levels. And it kind of makes sense when you think about why technical analysis works to begin with, which is just psychology. It's just the basic psychology of it, and half and whole dollars are big levels. And so one of the first things I'll look for is confirmation at those levels. And yeah, MYO $5 definitely got a bunch of confirmation on that one level. Even the pre-market high, if we look at that, it's right at $7, almost exactly at $7 up here. So a nice little range to attack. But yeah, for sure, I think I'm looking for this one to break over 550 and see if it can hold maybe there. And then if it can, we'll see if it rips up. But yeah, under 5, I'm right there with you on that one. If it breaks under 5, it's gonna look weak. We got a new one on my scanner here, PRTH. That's boring. No volume. You get excited, but then you see these and no volume.
I know. I know normally like every half hour, usually there's like a new roll of news. Right. So I think 8:30 was the last roll of news. I didn't see anything that popped up, at least in my scans. But as of right now, all the money's being flowing into Kodak.
Right.
We'll see what 9 o'clock brings around. If there's like a late bloomer.
Right. They got PE. You seen PEIX? PEIX doesn't look bad.
I was about to mention that one.
That was it was not too bad. Lower volume, but it's still moving and it's okay. Yeah.
And this is actually my number one stock that I'm actually stocking today.
Nice.
So right now, it fits a lot of my criteria. It has a float of 53 million, market cap to 270 million. Institutional ownership is 20%. Short float is just under 3. But they do have a shelf. Okay. They registered back in June of this year. Looks like 100 million. And of that 100 million, they already used 30 million. So they still got 70 million to dump on the market. And really the key level for me is going to be the 550. If this dumps under 550, I'm going to be shorting on pops. Other than that, I'm going to looking at the 610, 620 lines to get short. But if it holds this 550, you're looking to go long, this would be a great place to get buy on dips for a potential breakout over the high. And this is where I get a lot of confusion from a lot of new traders. They all think like, going long on the breakout is the ideal entry. Dude, I mean, all the smart traders, all the short buys traders who really know what they're doing, they're entering at this level here. And the ones who are really great at going long, they're buying on the dips for the potential breakout over highs. Sure. So when you're going into your trade, all the great traders who go long, they're exiting out of their position.
Yeah, and that's one of the hardest things for new traders to really pick up, because you learn technical analysis, and a lot of the times you're going to want to get in, or a lot of the times as a new trader, you want to get involved with like breakouts. People ask me all the time, especially even when I trade penny stocks, they're like, well, why are you selling there? Why don't you hold and let it run? Because I'm usually selling at breakout levels. I'm getting out, because a lot of the time other traders are selling there too, and it's just going to cause that downward momentum at certain levels, pre-market high levels, for instance. High of the days. A lot of the time, like Mordecai said, you're going to get just fake outs there. A lot of times traders are selling there, and you're going to get a much better entry, as well as a lot more success as a trader if you buy the dips after the breakout as opposed to the breakout itself.
Right. I'm looking at the chat here, and I see a lot of people kind of chirping about NVUS. The Christian said, what about NVUS? Yeah, what about it? I mean, what's your plan? That is like a little pet peeve of mine. I'm like, don't ask me what you think. Like, tell me what your plan is.
Right.
And then I'll be able to see what you're looking for and then assess it from there. But what I do know as of yesterday, NVUS was a pump, 100% pump.
For sure.
And now it kind of faded off today. So the one thing I've noticed on these pumps is, usually they don't have a lot of tension the next day. Right. So if there's not a lot of eyes, there's not a lot of market participants, you're not going to be able to see it to get the steam that it did prior to run back into that. Unless they got like a new press release, something fresh that came out to put it in everybody's alert windows or scanners, it's very unlikely for it to go run any higher because I mean, what's the volume of this guy right now?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 500K roughly. And then yesterday it traded
millions and millions.
Yes, 183 million. So the action from yesterday is very different.
Oh, for sure. Also, one thing for me, just based off of my own penny stock trading, is that it's under the $1 level. So it's under $1 now. It broke under that level in pre-market. $1 is usually, just like half and whole dollars are important, $1 is the first whole dollar on a penny stock, and so it's under $1. It looks like $1 is holding as resistance, and so especially being under there, I mean, a lot of the time you'll see these penny stocks like Mordecai said, you'll see them run up, they'll get pumped up, and then they'll just quietly fade back down, and you won't see them again for months. And I think that's what NVUS is kind of looking like right now.
Right. Yeah. So what are your thoughts there? I think somebody's chirping about Plen and Rito for the crossover. I know that's your thing.
Yeah. So RETO, I would love to see a little bit more volume with this one. The volume's a little light, but I do like a few levels here. I like the fact that it's over the $0.50, so it's over 50 cents, which is good. But again, the volume's pretty light. I think if I'm going to give myself kind of a line in the sand, we're looking at 55 cents here maybe. But I would like to see a little bit more volume. Also, in order for it to set up for the crossover, RETO would have to drop down to like 55 cents. So we need a dip in order to even have it set up yet. So we're waiting on that one. We also have like OAS, which is above 50 cents as well, and that previous closing price. So, maybe we can watch those levels, but it's a little extended up there now. And then we also have like PLIN. Let me see. PLIN is probably one of my favorite ones. Like if this one can break $1 and cross over and then give me a little pullback, I'm probably going to get invested into this one if it can hold over $1. So all of that stuff kind of needs to happen. Again, this one is at 93 cents. In order for me to really want to get involved here, it's got to break $1. It's got to hold over the VWAP and hold support there, and then it's got to give me that crossover as well. So that's the only thing I'm really interested in. If it does that, all of those things, then maybe I'll trade it. But if it misses just one of those, I'm probably not going to get into this one either.
Do you mind if I share a secret with the group?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I forgot to mention what PEIX.
Yeah, if you wanna share your screen, so with Zoom, there is, if you look at the little Zoom meeting, you should see like a green bar, right?
Okay.
Or you should see your window. Mine says your name on it, but you would click the very right where it says exit minimized video, and then you would just go to share at the bottom right. It says share screen.
It says you're disabled my...
Oh, here, let me go. I got you. Hold on. Might have to make you host.
All right. Let me just change something here because I don't want you to see my account information.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. I get it, man. Somebody asked me yesterday on stream. They were like, that looks like Thinkorswim paper. And I was like, paper? I was like, look, there's a lot of ways I could prove this. I'm obviously not going to show my account balance or I'm not going to show my account number. But like, if you know Thinkorswim, just to kind of get that out the way now, this is my Thinkorswim. If you know Thinkorswim, a paper Thinkorswim has a simulated trading right here. That is not what I'm trading on. This is 100% a real account. But yeah, you would just go to share screen at the bottom right. Let me make sure.
Yeah, it still says disabled.
Okay, here. Let me figure out how to. Oh, there it goes. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and make you the host.
All right.
All right, you're the host now. Yeah, so there you go. You would just share the screen.
Okay, so I'll just share my main screen and I just kind of go over what I was going to talk about, and just let me know when you can see it.
Okay, I can see it now, but let me get it for the stream real quick.
Right, I know there's a slight delay.
Oh yeah, hold on. Actually, I'm gonna send you a message on Discord just to give you a heads up about something.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is completely up to you. I'm just kind of giving you a heads up with this.
Oh, okay. No worries. Cool. No, we're good. We're good.
Oh, okay, we're good. Okay. All right. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and put his screen up. You've got the light theme here. lighter
Yeah.
charts. I could never do it, man. I could never do it. It's better for my eyes, but I never do it.
Dude, it's very different from everybody. Like I tried for so many years on the dark screens, and I struggle, and the white pops for me. I don't know why. All right, so you can see it perfect. All right, so I'm gonna mimic. This is actually my main trading screens here, and
You're
I
using
have a
DOS,
company.
huh? Sorry.
Yeah, I use that. Yes, no, you're good. So I use DOS as my main charting. I'm sorry, for my DOS Pro for my order execution. But as far as my my charting, it's all Thinkorswim. I've been using it for years.
Yeah.
So when I try to pull it up on DOS, you know, it just looks weird. Also, too, the only thing I don't like about it, and you probably, if you recall, because I think you used to be with SureTrader, the 8 a.m. shuffle. I mean, it shows all these late prints right at 8 a.m. So it makes the charts really wonky. And I hate that. And Thinkorswim cleans that up really nicely. That's what I prefer.
For sure.
So one thing I just want to mention real quickly was on PEX, or PEIX. This is my scanner that I use. And one of the things I always look for is what is hard to borrow, what is easy to borrow. And that's something I keep track in the back end on my own. So for me, PEIX, if you can see it on my chart from my montage on the right-hand side, it's shortable. Okay, so this is easy to borrow with my broker. I don't have to locate it. I don't have to pay fees. I can easily short it if I wanted to. Now I have a specialty broker, so not many people have this here. So typically when it's easy to borrow, that means there's a lot of people who can short it and can get it to get squeezed up. Now, in this particular case, it's easy to borrow with my broker, but it's not easy to borrow anywhere else. So more like popular brokers. So a good example of what I think you need to watch out for is, what was it yesterday, was MRNS. Yesterday, this guy ran all day, squeezed up a lot of people after it dipped under here. So not only was this easy to borrow at my broker, but it was easy to borrow every broker out there. So that means there's a lot of market participants who are looking to short this. And boom, doom, dude.
Sorry.
All day. So you know where I was going with this.
Right, for sure,
So, yeah.
100%.
Absolutely. So that's the thing. You should be mindful. If you see easy to borrow with your broker, and if you're not with the specialty brokers, keep in mind that it could be with those specialty brokers. And the more people that are able to short this, and they don't know what they're doing, you can potentially see a nice short squeeze out of these here. So be careful on the short side, long side, great opportunity.
Right, for sure. And that's something, like, if you are a trader, and this is something that I probably don't talk about as much as I should, and I'm glad Mordecai brought this up, which is that the more shorts that are actually, the more people that can short it, the more people that can potentially get squeezed out too, and get some more momentum on the long side. It's a really good point that we haven't really talked about that much, but it really, that's why short squeezes happen, is because a bunch of new shorters get involved and end up just selling at a specific level. And so if you can identify those levels where, you know, short traders are covering and getting out or stopping out, then you can identify a lot of momentum.
Totally. Absolutely. You know, and yeah, a lot of people, at least when I talk to my one-on-ones, are like, you know, Mordecai, I'm long buy. Should I even consider looking to how shorting operates? Absolutely. And you know this more than anybody else that I know, John. You need to know the other side of the coin. You need to understand what the short buyers look, or short bias people look to do, because that's where you want to be getting into your position. So yeah, definitely look at these type of levels. Definitely look at these fundamental aspects of the business for these tickers, so then you can really have a clear understanding of where this potentially can go. So I'll go ahead and stop sharing my screen here.
Oh, sure. But yeah, a very good point, and I think it's a good lesson. When I first got started trading, I only went long. You know, I only went long. I never went short, even with mid and high caps. And then once I started to really trade, I realized, once I started to short stocks, I realized that going long for so long actually helped me to be a better short trader. Like, trading long helped me short because I understood where squeezes are going to happen, why they were happening, when they were happening, and I could take advantage of people covering long positions with shorting. And that's the big kind of clicking moment that a lot of traders have, where it's like, okay, if you can long and identify momentum, you can identify when that momentum breaks down, and consequently short the stock there. And that's a really profitable and powerful thing to kind of understand about trading in general, especially if you can trade both directions. And yeah, I think that's where kind of I think that's kind of where I started to get involved with those red to green moves. Like if we look at red to green moves, what were some of gappers yesterday? Let me see. I'll have to find some of the gappers left yesterday. What's up, Egypt? Hey, I appreciate the sub. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Click the bell. And also, guys, just to give you a heads up, this is Mordecai. Super, if you're just now joining us, I know we got a few more people here now, but this is Mordecai. Great dude. Super talented trader. A short bias trader. Certainly a better shorter than me. And, you know, he does free one-on-one sessions. Completely free. Doesn't charge anything. Just kind of does some one-on-one sessions. I'm pretty sure he's booked up for a while. But if you're interested in that, get at him in our Discord. You got any other sources you want me to push here? Like anything, you know, any social media you want me to push for you? Anything else?
No, you're probably. I'm gonna be probably the most private people you ever meet.
Right.
I like my privacy.
Right. It's good. It's good in trading for sure sometimes too.
Right.
Yeah.
No, totally. And that's what's it is. Like I'm here to kind of help out your group and what you're pushing here, John. I think what you're doing is amazing.
Thank you, bro.
You know, so that's what I'm here. I want to just pay it forward. You know, easily I can charge for these one-on-one sessions.
For sure.
But it's for me to be able to see if I can help somebody else be better at their trading. That's all the reward I needed. And I know it's free. You know, sometimes you hear the term, you know, you pay what you get for.
Right.
But, you know, I'm not going to talk a lot about my resume, but I do have a lot of extensive experience when it comes into the markets.
Oh, for sure. He's a legit trader, guys. 100%. Like I said, I'm not afraid to say he's probably a better trader than me, and that's okay.
Oh,
because
no,
he brings value. He brings value to the channel, 100%. You know, and he does it all for free. Like, this dude hadn't asked me for anything. Great supporting member of our channel, too. And just a good guy. So,
appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, so short bias trader. So it's good. It's interesting, too, because I'm looking for longs at the open, and he's looking for when that momentum breaks down, you know? And so it's a little bit interesting dynamic here. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more fun at the open because I'm going to be looking for longs and you're going to be looking for shorts. But yeah. I think it's valuable for people to see both sides, though. And I think, you know, a lot of the time it's just simple me. And so I think it'll be valuable for them to see kind of what your process is with this, too.
So I'm kind of scanning right now as to like what's been running. I mean, there's just been so few, you know this, there's been so many or so few opportunities or options in the open when it comes to small caps, because it's really, the volume has really died off a bit.
For sure.
And I'm trying to see, because speaking of which, like your crossover strategy is so funny because we had a conversation about this, and I think you mentioned on your stream the other day that I short into your crossover strategy.
Right, for sure. Well, it's an important thing because it's like people get in here and they see me trade the crossover, and like with the crossover I'm running at like, I don't know, like 70-80% accuracy, at least daily accuracy. But it's interesting because it's like people always ask me, they're like, hey, why don't you hold the stock longer? Like, why do you sell so soon? Like, because it's like every time the stock hits the VWAP or gets slightly over the VWAP, I'm covering because I know that's like a wall. You know, and two-way is the guy shorting into that wall. You know what I mean? And we can both profit from it. Like, neither of us are wrong necessarily, because if you can make it work, you can make it work. But that's why I sell at the VWAP. That's why I scalp these moves, is because short traders like two-way or like Mordecai are jumping in there and shorting. And neither of us are wrong. If he can make it work, and I know he does, then he's doing the right thing. And you know, if I can make it work, you know, so am I.
And listen, I mean, it's like, I'm not shorting just because, oh man, I saw John and he's getting out the VWAP and then we go ahead and short it there.
Right.
It was something I was doing already on my own. And then one day I actually watched one of the videos. I was like, holy crap, that's actually my pattern.
Right.
So you know, but the cool thing about it is like you mentioned, like you just kind of like scalp it into that VWAP because there's a bunch of wall of sellers there.
For sure.
And in this market condition that we're currently in, because it's so slow, you really have to just take your money and run, right? So if you're just being too greedy and just trying to hold it, that's where you can really get hurt. So even in that crossover strategy you use, and I'm shorting into that VWAP, I am just taking my money and running away, because the one thing that could happen is it could reclaim that VWAP, hold VWAP, and then squeeze even further, because
Sure.
I'm not the only one shorting their VWAP. So
Right.
if you're able to reclaim that VWAP and you notice it from a long bias trader that now it's setting a lower high over VWAP, that's a very bullish indicator, and that's the reason for me to get out.
Right. 100%. Let me see if I can find. I know there was a good example of even the trade I got into yesterday. I got to remember the stock, man. It might have been. I don't know if it was in VUS. Maybe not. It might have been actually.
No, I thought MVBS was like a late runner yesterday.
Let me see. I know we had some. Point is that I got into a trade yesterday and I was frustrated because it's like I got into it. I took like 300 shares and then I had like a tiny win because it got hammered at the VWAP. And that's the big thing people want to understand is that VWAP's a wall sometimes.
Dude, I think it was MRNS.
I don't know. See, usually I can kind of remember him. I don't know if it was MRNS. It might have been. Let me see.
MRNS, PSTV ran yesterday. ABIO.
No, I can't remember what it was. Let me watch the stream real quick. Hold on. I'm gonna go back. Because there's a good example of exactly what we're talking about, which is that I scalp these moves because you have to. Sometimes you might get short-term momentum, but sometimes you're also just going to get a big rejection, and the stock is immediately going to push all the way down to break like the low of the day. And that's kind of worst-case scenario if the stock just squeezes down like that.
So recent Genus, I remember IPOB was another big one that ran yesterday. IPOB.
Let me see. So I'm seeing the gappers list: ABIO, TLSA, ABUS. Maybe it could have been ABUS, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. Let me find the opening bell. NVUS.
And you created the crossover strategy in that one, right?
So I got into NVUS, but I don't think it was the crossover. I think I got into the little 1 minute pullback on NVUS here.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So, and I remember it just hammered on me. If you look at NVUS, I got in here and I was able to ride it up, but then it broke this 134 high and then it just tanked down. And I think it was above the VWAP, so it was kind of maintaining above the VWAP anyway.
Yeah.
But
that was a pump job there.
Yeah, for sure. And this is what I mean, which is that you'll just get these breakdowns fast in there if you don't get out. I remember, I'm looking at it now. So I got in NVUS with a few hundred shares, and I was up like $20-25, and then it just tanked down right here. It just ripped down like 15 cents.
I don't know why it tanked, but
it's
a different story.
Yeah. But these are what I love to take, and if I could find a broker. Obviously, I'm just growing. I'm trying to grow towards 25K, and once I hit 25K, that's when I'm really gonna try to start shorting these moves, because I do think I would have much better results shorting if I could find the shorts. I just don't have them. To be honest, I just don't have the money to short.
Yeah, it's tough, even with the bigger brokers, like the E-Trades and the TDAs of the world. They really don't. The retail small cap traders, that's not who their customer is. They're looking for those long-term investors.
100%.
That's who they focus on. So their tools, their systems, and all that's not really tailored towards us. So if you're looking to be short biased and be able to trade every day with some great fees, then you have to go with the specialty broker.
Right, 100%. And there's regulated specialty brokers that are fine. Like I know a lot of the brokers people use. People get weird with specialty brokers, but look, they all fill a need, and they're regulated, and your money's safe, I guess. A lot of people think their money's only safe in the big ones, but especially some of these specialty brokers will do more to actually please their customers because they're not a big corporation.
Yep. So we got CPIX coming down towards. Looks like it's going to test that 550 line here in a second.
Okay. Which one you said? I'm sorry.
PEIX.
Oh yeah. So this one's actually setting up much better for me now. We do still have that line in the sand for 550, and so I like 550 if it can hold over that. If it starts to break 550, it's looking weak, and you can see all this confirmation here. It's touched it. Let's see, and just on a 1 minute chart. 1, 2, 3, 4 times in this pre-market session. So a lot of support at 550. Let me see. Let me go ahead and post.
Yeah, I think as of right now, the ones that has potential, at least I would say, not potential to run, but it's going to have a lot of eyes in the market, it's going to be Kodak, KODK. Mayo, I think there's a lot of people who are underwater because this ran after hours yesterday, and since then it's failed to reclaim that 6 line. So I think 6 is going to be a really important number on Mayo. If it can't get over this here, the $6, is potential to fade. Other than that, if it reclaims it, it does have potential to squeeze back over to highs.
For sure. Yeah, I don't mind that one either. That one has much better volume too. Kodak, we'll see if I even trade Kodak, but I know everybody's going to be watching this one for sure.
Right. And if you are, just be careful with that range.
100%.
Look at that range. I mean, it went from $6 to $10, almost $11.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I did that Trading for Keeps podcast a few weeks ago, and it actually just went live. If you guys want to watch this podcast, I got links in our Discord for it, and I guess I'll post it right here too. But I did this podcast, and one of the things they talked to me about was kind of old war stories of trading. And one of the stories that came up was the real lesson on understanding range, like my first lesson on understanding range as a trader. And I remember I was on SureTrader at the time, and you know, I was super hyped up for trading. I was a brand new trader, obviously, so you first get involved with trading, what do you see? You see a bunch of, you know, Tim Sykes, Warrior Trading, you know, some Sean Deckmar in there, Bulls on Wall Street, all that stuff, and you just get really hyped up because you think you're about to just get rich, and you think you're about to just pay your bills with trading, and it's about to be all gravy, you know, you're just about to change your life, right? And so I was on SureTrader at the time, and I remember I was up like $100, and I was super excited to be up $100, and I saw a recent IPO, and it was the first IPO I ever traded, and I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to buy 50 shares of this thing. You know, I might make $15 and just try to kind of scalp it at the time. And so I jump in 50 shares of this IPO, and I am immediately down hundreds and hundreds of dollars with 50 shares because I did not understand range. I didn't understand range, and that 50 shares can lose me hundreds if not thousands of dollars on a big range stock, and it sucked at the time. I was super disheartened, but it really taught me to analyze the range of a stock before just taking a universal share size like that, and I've been much better about it since then. So common saying in trading, if you don't win, you learn, you know.
Right, absolutely. And that's really key because that goes with what you're identifying, what your strength and opportunities are, because if you see that you're definitely opportunity and working on those ones that have big range, then ignore it.
Right.
You know, you want to make, I mean, trading is hard, but you can simplify it, right? So if that's something that's outside of your comfort zone, put it to the side and look for something that's going to be easier for you. And that just kind of coincides with like somebody was asking here, like, you know, Mordecai, what do you think about SGMS as a short? Well, first off, tell me your plan, right? Tell me your plan. Don't just ask like that. But second, you know, this definitely does not fit my criteria at all. I'm a very niche trader. Just looking at the fundamentals, it's a $3 billion company. It's a real company. $56 million float. I mean, high institutional ownership, over 60%. So there is a lot of interest outside of the company that want this stock to go up. But just look at the daily. Look at this daily here. I mean, it is a textbook breakout, right, on the daily chart. So this looks very bullish to me. I don't want to fight this trend. You know, you've heard the term trend is your friend. This is definitely not something I would be interested in shorting.
100%, and I think it's a really good lesson on kind of keeping your niche in the market. I think new traders get really universal, right? And then new traders, if they don't have anything to do, or if they can't find anything with a specific strategy, they just kind of press on and try to find other stocks and other systems and other strategies that are not in theirs. And that's probably one of the things that hurts new traders the most, is that they can't just sit on their hands. And that's a skill. You got to learn to sit on your hands sometimes and not trade. And it's difficult to do, but once you really grasp that, it's gonna benefit your trading. Once you can start to say, okay, this is what I'm trading, this is what works for me, and I'm not gonna trade anything else. You know, once you can do that, that's when you're really on the path to show consistent results. But you got to be able to develop the system and then stick to it. If not, you're just gonna be throwing in just kind of randomness.
Absolutely. And I'm sure you get this question all the time, John. They're like, what is the best strategy? What is the best setup?
Right, for sure.
It all starts with your process. It all starts with your criteria, because if you are able to identify like what is the best tickers based on your past history, what fits that criteria, then you'll be able to identify the best stocks or tickers that fit that criteria and then apply that strategy, because not all bull flags are built the same. Not all bear flags are built the same. I can't just take that pattern and put it on any chart and it's going to work the same. No, there's a lot of other different factors that come into play, and you need to be aware of that.
100%. And it goes back to why I back test, but it goes back to system building. Like, you have to have a system. Like, I have an old video, and it's one of the videos that never really popped off, but it's called How to Build a Trading Plan. You know, and what Mordecai said is true, which is that, dude, like, I get people, what's the best stock to buy right now? You know, I don't know, bro. What are you trading? Or what's the easiest way to grow a day trading account? Or what's the best strategy for day trading? And it's like, well, I could tell you what works the best for me specifically, but that might not be what works the best for somebody else, right? It's all tailored to your own personality, and your personality is going to vary. It's going to be subjective. Some people are going to have way better temperament and patience than me, right? And so they can hold positions longer and take broader moves out of the market. And some people are going to have less patience than me, and they're going to be getting in and out even faster. And neither of them are wrong, but it's tailored to your own personality. And one of the things that can really benefit is just building a plan. If you know what strategy system you're trading, under what market conditions, under what price range, under what strategies, under what risk reward you want to take, and then you develop a plan so you know where you're going to enter, you know where you're going to exit, you know what you got to wait for, you know where your profit target and stop loss is, then that's going to make the trade so much easier, because then you just follow your plan. But if you're just kind of like, oh, that looks good, I'm just going to jump in, that's just random. You're going to get random results. It's going to be a lot more emotional in the trade, because you're not going to have a plan, and it's just going to hurt your trading. And so build a real trading plan before each trade. And if you're a scalper like me, you're going to have to learn to do it quickly like I do. I'm like, okay, I'm going to jump in here. And you guys kind of hear me do it, but I'm like, okay, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to get out here. This is what I'm doing. And you kind of just do it quickly. But you got to learn to develop that and build that skill as well.
Right. All right. So we're coming up 9:15. Typically, that's when I really take my bigger watch list and create it into a main watch list. So, okay. So John, what's going to be your main watches you're going to be watching at the open?
So today, I have about 4 stocks that I'm really watching. There's Kodak, obviously. Usually my watch lists like this are going to be a mix of like the highest volume stocks. So Kodak, MYO are on there. And then stocks that are obviously setting up for the crossover. So at this point in time, we have MYO, we have PEIX are the 2 that are really looking solid for me. PEIX and MYO. And then in the cheaper range, we do have a few that are really cheap here. We have PLIN, and we'll watch this one, but it's we're watching it over $1, and this is not the crossover unless it pulls down some. Really, we're looking for this one to break $1 and hold. And if it can hold, maybe we'll get involved, maybe. But yeah, main watch is Kodak, MYO, PEIX. That's probably it.
Perfect.
With MYO here, I think I have very similar levels to Mordecai here, which is $5 is the line in the sand. If it breaks down under 5, I think it's going to look really, really weak, and I think other traders are going to identify that weakness too. This is the range I'm looking at. If you could see my screen, Mordecai, this is the range, $5.50 and $5. Right now, we've been consolidating in that range for an hour or so, and so at the open, we're going to look for a short-term break over $5.50. If it can hold support there, we're going to look for $6.50, and then obviously if we start to really rip, we could break the pre-market high at $7. PEIX is a little bit different. This one has confirmed the line in the sand multiple times, and so $5.50 here is we want to see it hold over $5.50 and just kind of maintain where it's at right now, so we can potentially get the crossover at the open.
Right, absolutely. So I think Kodak is definitely going to be the one that's going to have all the attention right now. They just had news broke on 8K filing just came out. All it's stating is that they actually announced some special committee for that lawsuit that's going through. But you know, it's just more news popping up late in the day before the opening, and people just gravitate towards that. So it's definitely going to be crowded. So you know, for me, what I've learned in my stats, I don't do well when it's super crowded. So I rather take my attention somewhere else where it's easier. So right off the bat, PEIX is going to be my main. And just like John mentioned, that by 550 is going to be really the deciding factor how I'm going to trade this here. So if 550 holds, I'm definitely going to be looking to the upper range to get short. If it actually slams on there, and then that's where he's going to really using his cross over strategy, I'm going to be there at VWAP and probably like 550 or 580 to get short.
For sure. Yeah, I like that 580 level. We got some resistance there too. And that's probably right around where if I was going long in this one, like if we do get the crossover, that's kind of where I'm going to get out. I'm going to get out the position, unless we just get a crazy rip, which is, a little bit more rare. That's where that's going to be the line in my sand where I'm going to get out if it does go long. But yeah, I really like 550 here, especially if I was a short trader. 550 looks like the level.
Right. And I know there's like a lot of range down there, and this is the difference. Like we were talking about earlier about how new traders kind of chase that high day breakout. For me, this is almost like a low day breakout, even though we do have some more lows. This is chasing it.
Right.
I just don't feel comfortable with this. I prefer to you go short on resistant levels, because that's where the psychological piece of trading comes into really into play.
For sure.
So definitely won't be chasing if he gets under 550. It needs to actually confirm to me that 550 truly is now resistance, and then short back to those levels.
Yeah, I think one of the most powerful ways to scale into positions as well is, say we have a really nice confirmed resistance level. You could wait till we pop up there and then start to short into that and just give yourself a really tight risk as that resistance level. So for instance, just to use this as an example, if we had this 580 level as a resistance level, you could start shorting it at 575 and then, give yourself a really tight 5-cent risk and look for that rejection based off of 550. Maybe a little bit broader risk, but I think that's something you'll see me do with scalping as well, is short into those levels. And that can be a really powerful way to trade it too. And I know that's what Mordecai is talking about. Man, I'm kind of getting the itch to short. It's been a while since I shorted penny stocks, especially.
Dude, I struggle going along with these penny stocks, because I just, now that it really opened my eyes when I look at the filings, I can really see, just some of the trash that's in there. It really makes me squeamish to go along, even thinking about it. I'm not going to name the company, but I've talked about it in my one-on-ones. There was one company that recently ran pretty hard, and there were a drone company that was attached to, I believe it was either Walmart or Amazon, and it was just rumors, nothing confirmed.
Right.
And you can see the filings that they were looking to dilute quite a bit. But if you look at their headquarters and their filings, and you just Google it, you would see that it was literally a shack with a trailer. That was their company headquarters. So I just
Wolves on Wall Street type stuff, man.
Totally, man. Totally. So I just can't see Amazon or Walmart, whoever that company was, really took the time to make an agreement with this company, because they're logistically not capable of delivering what the needs are for that company. So again, those are the reasons why I just can't go along.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you ever see the Wolves on Wall Street, there's Aerotine International, and it's just a little shed outside, But that's what you get in the investment world. I've seen it all too. Well, you just see it all, man. You get shady companies, and usually there's always a few bag holders into these shady companies,
Right.
But I wish, one thing that I wish they did is I wish they sold put options on a lot of these penny stocks, because one of the easiest strategies would just be to find penny stocks that gap up with low floats and then just buy put options on them after they gap up, right? Those things are going to fail. I think I actually backtested this one day in my backtesting video. So I don't know if you saw that video, Mordecai, but so what I did was over a month or two, I looked at every gapper that had good volume. Like every gapper that was good volume, like Kodak in this instance, PEIXMYO, and I documented how many times those stocks broke the pre-market high on that day. So basically, how many times they ran up and broke highs after gapping up. I think it was like 79 or 78% of them failed. So like 78, like around 80% of them never broke pre-market high and just failed. They would just drop down and just ultimately never end up running up. And so it just kind of shows, 4 out of 5 of these penny stocks will fail. They are going to drop. They're not going to run up more. And don't buy the hype, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Totally. And you know, it's so funny. I really need to get with you with that back testing because I know you get really analytical with the numbers and
For
the
sure.
spreadsheets and all that.
Sure.
There are some things I want to back test as well. So I need to get with you to
For
kind of
sure.
see like what's your method to the madness there.
Yeah, so usually what I do is I keep it really simple. I use what I call the tally method or the binary IO method. So it's like I go back in time. The big key with the way I do it is you just got to give them a success. You got to identify a consistent success and failure level. Like that's all it really is. So like if you can identify, okay, this is where the strategy succeeds and this is where it fails. If you can identify specific levels that are consistent around gap ups, then you can basically just go back and tally up how many times it worked versus didn't work, and then find the conditions that it works on and target those conditions. And like that's all it really is.
Right.
Uh,
So just a couple things, because at 9:30 I do have to drop and join my trading group.
yeah, no worries.
But a couple things. One is just a quick tip is record your screens. I know there's a lot of people who use like OBS. I always record my screens and really just focus on one particular ticker. So I'm able to really record the tape and the level twos. So during my schedule, let me see today. I'm supposed to say is what Wednesday, right? At 1 p.m. I have already allocated some time to review the tape. So I actually pull up my recordings and look to see how the tape reacted at certain levels. So I'm not looking at every single second of the day. It's when it hits certain levels, how's it reacting? Are there any hitting buyers or sellers, or is it if there is a hitting, is it hitting the bid and just soaking, is it getting faster or slower? So reading the tape, it's an art, and you really have to train your eyes on that. So record your screens always. And the last thing I want to leave with you is just my watch list. You can see PEIX is still bouncing off that 550. VWAP is pretty close to that price. So for me, I'm just going to wait for outer lines in this one here.
For sure.
Unless 550 decides to give up before the open, but Myos or Myo, MYO, I'm looking towards I would say $586. I think 6 is a key number that a level that we talked about earlier.
Right.
Any push towards that, I'm definitely going to get short into that level.
For sure. Somebody's asking, what do you use to record your screen? OBS, probably the easiest free recorder there is. So what does Mordecai do with IPOs? 4 IPOs today. What's IPOing today? I don't really trade IPOs that much. I think there's a lot of volatility.
That's a whole different niche.
Yeah.
I mean, IPOs is different. Big caps is very different from what I do. Sure. Options is very different from what I do.
For sure.
ETFs is different from what I do. Right. So I a jack of all trades is a master of none, in my opinion. 100%. So I master one piece, and then from there I grow.
Yeah,
so I'm still trying to master this niche.
Yeah, there was honestly. So I said a quote a long time ago in trading, and the quote is from Bruce Lee, and the quote is, "I don't fear the man that has practiced 1,000 different types of kicks one time. I fear the man that's practiced one type of kick 1,000 times." And it's very relevant to trading, where you want to master a specific strategy. You don't want to be so broad to where you don't have your niche in the market, and you're kind of good at everything, but like Mordecai said, you're a master of none. That's not where you want to be.
Exactly. And if you're a new trader, that's really important to understand, because if you try to chase that new shiny object, come the opening bell, you're going to get that paralysis by analysis. For sure. So that's the last thing you want to do, because now you're going to look back like, man, I could have done this, I could have done that, this ran here, and like it's all in hindsight. So just, if you have Thinkorswim, use On Demand as a nice little nifty tool, record your screens, and just put in the work after hours, or even for me, I stopped trading after 10:30. I put in all that work afterwards. So it keeps me busy so I don't get that FOMO and trade when I shouldn't be trading.
100%. And I think people don't realize, like, it's going to take you a little while to be profitable with the strategy. Like with my moving averages crossover, it took me weeks and weeks of trading it every day to really figure out when and how I like to approach it. And so if you try to get too broad and just trade a million different types of strategies, you're not going to understand the nuances of your own strategy, let alone hundreds or tens or whatever. So the point is, take it slow, figure out one strategy, and really show consistent results with that one strategy before you move on.
Right. So I need to bounce.
All right, brother.
But listen, it's been awesome being here and just talking on the pre-market with you. I'd be
Yeah,
more
for
than
sure.
happy to come back and just do pre-market. Like I said, 9:30. I'm just so busy. I actually lead a team of 7 other traders, so I need to be there for them. They're my priority at the
Yeah, yeah.
opening bell. So I need
No
to go
worries.
back there and be with them. All right,
Hey,
guys.
man.
Best of luck with everybody.
Hey, thanks, man. We appreciate you being here, brother. I'm sure we'll see him again. Everybody, thank Mordecai for being here, and we'll see you guys next time. Let's get ready for the
Cool.
open.
See ya.
Hey, good luck, brother. We'll talk to you
Thanks.
later, man.
You too. See ya.
See ya. All right, guys. So yeah, that was Mordecai. Really good dude. Like I said, I've known him for years and years. He's been a supporting member of the channel for years and years and years. And so, yeah, if you want to catch him or talk to him, reach out to him, ask him any questions, just check out our Discord. I'll post our Discord link. Again, he's in there with the screen name Mordecai. Alright guys, but let's do this. YTRA starting to pop off. We could go ahead and go over some market news, I think, here as well, if you guys want some just regular market news. Let's see what we get today. But here's the SPY itself. So the SPY is up. The market news on the SPY itself, specifically for today. White House Press Secretary McCurney said Trump absolutely wants to get a stimulus deal done. We had some USA retail control month over month come in at 0.1% versus 0.5% expected. Retail sales month over month for August came in at 0.6. So we did have some numbers that came out today. Overall, the market is up. We'll look to see if we have any opportunity there as well. Let's do this, team. Hey, we're almost at 100 likes, guys. We're at 93 likes. Y'all smash that like button. Shout out to my man Flex pumping up those likes this morning. And let's do this, team. But yeah, right now for the moving average crossovers, for specifically, we're watching MYO, PEIX are the two that I'm really harping and trying to focus on this morning, team. So yeah, we'll see what we get. But that's what I'm doing. Like I said, I am trading a larger size, or at least I'm trading more equity every day. So wish me luck. We'll see how it goes. Green day yesterday, losing day Monday. So I did lose Monday. We got KOPN starting to move. CDEB. But again, MYO and PEIX. Excuse me. We also have Kodak, which is still ripping up here. Kodak is still making some moves, still squeezing up. It's at 950s, 960s. So we are getting a big squeeze in Kodak here, team. All right, good luck to you as well, Veronica. Hey, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that, brother. Hey, we got over 300 people in here, guys. So like I said, smash that like. Look at PEIX, guys. Remember, Mordecai and I both were talking about how 550, the line in the sand. And look at this. Big drop. So we'll see if this one sets up for the crossover play. But I don't like the fact that it dropped under 550. It's not even that it dropped under there. It's just that it had this huge breakdown under that 550 level. And again, it's one of the reasons him and I both were watching that specific level. RETO maybe. All right, we're gonna try to put all these up so we can keep an eye on them at the opening bell. Let's do this, guys. MYO, PEIX, Kodak. Let's do this, team. I appreciate all the subs today. I know we got a ton of new subs. I appreciate that marketing. Y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you click the bell, you'll get an alert every time we go live like this. So every weekday morning we go live. If you hit the like and hit that bell next to it, you'll get an alert when we do go live. We got less than a minute, team, so let's go ahead and get this ready. Let's do this, guys. Got this squared away. We got the... Oh, no, wait. We need the high of the day momentum scanner up, not this one. Here we go. That's what we want. All right. Let's do this, team. Here's the opening bell, guys. Good luck. Let's do it. Let's make some money today, guys. I wish you guys the best. Good luck, team. Here's the open. There's the bell. Alright, Alright, so we got RETO. I'm looking at MYO really here. MYO showing up on the scanners. We got PLIN showing up on the scanners here as well. PLIN. Watching MYO here, but PLIN ripping up here. Are we getting the crossover play? No. Didn't really set up for it. I'm watching PLIN. I think I talked about it at the open, but PLIN is ripping up. We got OSN here as well. OSN and PLIN. We might look for the crossover for this specific one. But PLIN breaking $1 here and getting rejected under $1. So PLIN, Kodak is dropping a little bit at the open. I'm kind of looking at PEIX here. We got NMCI, PEIX pushing up some. The VWAP just dropped such drastically though. PEIX down to under $1. We got RETO here popping off at the open. RETO, huge rip, huge move. No crossovers yet today, though. Kodak, guys. Kodak is starting to rip. Kodak. KODK. Kodak. Huge move. Huge move. I'm looking at RETO for a 3-bar play here, team. And so we're over the VWAP. We start to break 62. I might jump in this one with a few hundred shares. Let's see what's the range. The range is about 10 cents today, so it's not a terrible range. We'll try 400 shares here. Scalp the top there if we get it. We're still watching PEIX here. Kodak is over $10, guys. Over $10. Kodak is absolutely hammering up here. It's at 1050s. Kodak is about to break highs. Kodak is absolutely ripping up. I'm pretty sure it's going to get halted here. It's at 1030 right now. 1030, guys. 1030 for Kodak. I'm looking for the 1-minute pullback here for RETO. We're about to get it. 400 shares here. We're watching for it. Still waiting for the moving average crossover. Maybe on PLIN. If we get the move on PLIN, I don't hate that. We're still watching RETO and PEIX. PEIX, we need the move. Yeah. So Kodak is halted right around the highs. It's at 1070. It's at 1070. Kodak is halted there. We're getting some breakdowns in a lot of these. Some breakdowns here. I'm going to lower this. OSN showing up on the scanners. OSN. Still waiting for some moves like this. We're not really getting anything yet. Trying to catch this breakout if we get it. Still watching MYO here. Trying to be patient and wait for the crossover here. Watching this level 2. Alright, getting a pullback to 61s. I'm going to get in here. Not a great fill, but we're in with 400 shares. And we're going to look for this to squeeze up here. We're in with 400 shares of RETO. 400 shares. Yeah, CODX. No, I didn't jump in Kodak. No way. I'm not taking Kodak. There's just too much risk there. We'll see it when it resumes, but just a lot of risk. All right, there's the squeeze up that I wanted. There's 63, 64, 65s. Lovely. All right, we got out of half of that there. We're still holding 200 shares left. Got the little 3-bar play in the open. Loving it. All right, we got out of there for a small little scalp. We're still going to look for some other moves, but a beautiful 3-bar play. I did test this strategy. Hey, I appreciate the sub, Mr. Who sub, sorry. Mr. Sector, I appreciate the sub, brother. And so I got out of there with the 3-bar play. We'll maybe look for it again over 67. But we are getting the squeeze up here. Still looking at MYO, PEIX, maybe OSN. Maybe over 67 and 66. I'll attack this one too. But I caught the 3-bar play in momentum there. I jumped in too late here, unfortunately, guys. I'm taking half off there just to protect it. Oof. Not what I wanted to see. Oof. Alright, so I caught the momentum. I was just a little bit too late, unfortunately. Let's see if we get another 3-bar play. There we go. 69s. Set it up to 75 is really what we want to see here. 69s. So break 70s. We're right at 70s. Boom. 72s. And we're going to get out there. Oh, no. I bought more shares. Oh, my gosh. I did not want to do that at all. That's the hugest mistake I've made in a long time. Oh my gosh, I'm in 800 shares, guys. This is not what I wanted to do. Alright, I took half off. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I am mismanaging this like crazy, team. I'm sorry. I bought way too many shares there. Used a ton of my equity. I just did not want to do that. My bad, guys. We'll look for the crossover play now, but... let's see if we get a little pop-up here, but... Man, not what I wanted to do. Basically just botched that entire trade, trying to cover. I gotta laugh at myself. Mistakes happen, and that's certainly one of them. But man, just a dumb mistake on my part. Just destroyed the profit I had on this trade. We'll give it one more second, but at least we're not red. But man, just a very dumb mistake by me. I got in with 800 shares at one point, so a little bit crazy of a share size, but hey, maybe this thing will pop off, but just a terrible mistake. Okay, I said I was gonna scale up, and I guess I am, but man. Well, I was up $20, 20-something dollars, trying to scale up my size, and just kind of blew it here. Well, why this pullback to the VWAP? I don't hate this, but man, just kind of botched that trade, team. My bad. My fault. We'll give it one more second, but man, just a terrible mistake on my part. MYO's starting to rip up, though. We're watching MYO. We'll see what happens. Man. Yeah, we gotta let this work too. Not a crazy share size or anything, but just a stupid mistake on my part. Alright, but we are looking at MYO ripping up, guys. Kodak is resumed. It's at 1130s. 1130s. So Kodak is resumed here. We are at a big level there. We are at 1080s now. Kodak is trying to break these levels. Alright, we're at 65 again. I'm going to see if this thing can hopefully squeeze up and rip. Over 65 now. 66. Still in with 400 shares here, but man, just botched that, team. Just a dumb mistake on my part. We are getting PEIX that is above the VWAP, above 550, and trying to squeeze up. Yeah. I am using Thinkorswim. Yeah, I'm just using TOS. Yeah, Kodak is huge, ridiculous pullback in Kodak here. I know I'm holding this. Alright, I'm in with 400 shares. Yeah, these type of mistakes don't happen enough for me to be like super upset about them. It is what it is. I just accidentally clicked the buy button when I wanted to sell here. So we're still holding this. Looking at MYO and PEIX, though. PEIX might pull the crossover play too. So we're waiting on that. Kind of aggravated, but it is what it is. KOPN is another one I'm kind of targeting and watching here. I got to get out of this one soon. Alright, 66s. That's not too bad. Nah. 65 and a half, 64s, 65s. Alright, I don't mind this little range here, so we're gonna trade it off of this range, but definitely made some mistakes there. Gave back a $20-something win. There's 66s. We just need to break out of this range here. 67. There we go. 68s. Let's see if we get the squeeze up. 68s. Over 68s. Oh my gosh, man. That is not what we want to see. Alright, we have MYO guys kind of pulling the crossover, trying to break over the previous high of the day there. We are also looking at PEIX for the crossover PEIX. I'm still watching PEIX very closely here. I'm about break even here on the day. Alright, so I'm watching PEIX here. It's right around. Kodak got hammered all the way back down to 9s. Yeah, we break under 63. I gotta bail out. I'm out. $16 loss. Just super frustrated because, honestly, I feel like cursing myself out right now. It's just stupid, man. I added to it when I shouldn't have. My fault completely, though. At least the trade would have worked out, but man, I basically just botched a very profitable scalp that I just ended up giving too much back. Alright, so we are looking at this one. We just got the crossover play. We're going to jump in. 100 shares. Nothing too crazy. I'm also frustrated because I used a lot of my equity on that trade, but it is what it is. Alright, so I'm in MYO for the crossover. Pretty tight risk. Or I'm in PEIX, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kodak's too much for me right now. Yeah, it's like I said, frustrating, but it is what it is. It would have been a green trade, so I can't be super like mad at myself because it would have been a green trade. You know what I mean? What was the stock? Was it RETO? Yeah, it was RETO, and it could have been a green trade. It's just my fault. I just mismanaged it. It is what it is. Gonna have to get out of PEIX here too. So, you know, 2 trades, frustrating, but it is what it is. I'm gonna hold myself back for a little bit and take a second and try to maybe scalp some GameStop shares or something like that. We'll see. What else we got? Kodak. Yeah, Kodak is absolutely going crazy right now, guys. Absolutely going nuts. Huge pullback, though, and this is what you got to worry about with these moves. Like, look at the halt, the resumption, and then just the subsequent tank. Just hammered down. Absolutely hammered down. I'm looking at MYO maybe. Looking at maybe MYO for the crossover strategy. All right, I'm jumping in. I got to get hotkeys set up, though. The conclusion after today, guys, is like I got to get hotkeys set up. All right, so I am in MYO here. All right, we took half off. We're holding 50 shares. We'll hold this one and let it ride. But a beautiful crossover strategy. Worked really, really well. And we're going to let this one try to ride up to maybe 550 if we can. There's 30s. 35s. All right, so MYO starting to take off. 35s. 36. 37s. All right, it's trying. I'm out. $8 gain. Oh my gosh, man. Frustrating day. My fault, though. It's all my fault. And it is what it is. This might be my first losing week in months on penny stocks. But, man, just made a bunch of dumb mistakes. Let me see what I'm down today. Yeah, I'm down $20. It'll be all right. $20 loss today in penny stock land. But yeah, well, we got a little bit more equity. We'll see if we find anything else. I'm glad I got up RETO. The frustrating thing is that every single one of these strategies worked. MYO worked, missed out on some wins, but it worked, certainly worked. There's the crossover play. My 1 minute pullback on RETO worked beautifully. And I just mismanaged it, guys. I just botched it. My fault completely. And look at this beautiful 1 minute pullback, 3 bar play. Just nailed it and caught it. Traded it perfectly. Just mismanaged it once I was trying to cover a position. I was trying to get out, and I ended up getting in 800 shares and just botching the trade. But regardless, we'll be all right. Yesterday was a green day, and just like I said, purely my fault. Just my fault. So it is what it is. Small green day, or small red day so far, and, we'll see what else we get. Yeah, the reason I'm trying to get hotkeys set up, it was just my fault, and these user errors are going to happen. They're inevitable, but the reason I got hotkeys set up, or the reason I want to set up hotkeys is because on the active trader part of Thinkorswim, like this part right here, there's just so many options to choose, right? Like I can buy, I can sell, I got a market buy, and I think I'm naturally a short bias trader in that way. So I'm used to selling to cover and buying. I'm used to buying to cover a position. Like I'm using to press buy to cover a position. And so I think with hotkeys, it's just going to help me kind of implement what I'm trying to do, if that makes sense. Oh, wait, what happened to the music? What happened to the music? Big pullback in MYO. OSN showing up on the scanners. Look at Kodak, though, man. Kodak. Shady. Look at the squeeze up and then the subsequent tank. Yeah, you can set up hotkeys for Thinkorswim. Like I said, it is what it is, guys. I mean, I'm not... let me show you guys my Thinkorswim graph. If somebody, like I said earlier... Oh, my gosh. Is my freaking neighbor outside again cutting his freaking grass at 8:30 in the morning, bro? Like every day, bro. His grass was shorter than mine, man. What's he doing out there? You hear that? You hear that, Stocks? You hear that, bro? Dad move. Yeah, bro. Honestly, dude, neighbors are crazy, bro. Most of the time, I'm chill with my neighbors, right? But it's like with my neighbors. Look at Kodak here. Kodak, listen, if you're a short trader, Kodak under 9.15 and specifically $9 looks super enticing for a short trader. Super enticing. But yeah, I'm the type of neighbor that it's like, look, man, like I'm chill with my neighbors. I'm not trying to be friends with my neighbors. You know what I mean? The reason I'm not trying to be friends with my neighbors is because I don't feel like telling some dude or some old lady hi every time I walk into my house. Right? I don't want to talk to somebody for 20 minutes every time I come in my house. I just want to go in my house, man. You know? I like most of my neighbors, but I think I've told the story. We've got one like crazy neighbor. Like if I'm ever disappearing, or if I'm ever, you know what? We got this weird neighbor. I think I've told the story before. We'll do a little bit of story time later on, and I'll tell the story of the crazy neighbor. The stalker neighbor is really what it is, because this dude is like a legit stalker. 100%. Super weird. If we ever disappear, you know who did it, guys. Remember me telling y'all that. But I'll tell that story later. You got to stick around. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you want to hear that story. OSN. Hit the crossover. 1 minute pullback. Kodak. Like I said, Kodak under 9.15, guys. Look at Kodak. But yeah, let me know. One thing I've also been thinking about doing, team. One thing I've been doing is like, listen, if you know somebody that has like a decent sized channel on YouTube, if you guys know anybody that has a decent sized channel on YouTube that you think might want to be part of the stream and join the stream and kind of hang out, and we can kind of like co-promote. You promote me to your followers, I promote you to my followers, and you can come on the stream and chill, and we can kind of talk and hang out. Let me know. Like I said, I'm thinking about starting to let just kind of different guests come on the stream. And, yeah, just having different guests at different points in time to, be on the stream, talk about stocks, talk about trading, all that good stuff. You guys hear my neighbor, though, man? Alright, we're watching Kodak to see what happens if it breaks under like $9, like 9.15 is really what we're looking at. Look at 9.15 right there. So we got to watch that for the breakdown under that. I'm also looking at shorting Apple. Alright, I'm in with 200 shares of Apple here. Gonna keep it pretty tight. We're just looking for a flush. Hold under 114.75. Now we're going to take half off there, protect the self. What? Oh, it's a limit order. Oh, no. Order blotter. Get out of there. Oh, that's good. Look, all right, we're going to take half off there. We're still holding 100 shares, over 950, and we're out of this thing. All right, so we're out. $32 win on Apple. Really quickly. Yeah, well, YouTube ads are based off of your own viewing history. Yeah, I shorted Apple is what I did. Yeah, no worries, Michael. No stress, brother. Yeah, listen, y'all don't have to have thousands of subscribers. Like, listen, yeah, like, hey, Tactical, hey, hit me up, brother. Like I said, if you could find a way to get a lot of your viewers to sub to me, like, I got you, bro. I'll let you on the stream. Like I said, I'm not super needy in that way. Like, y'all don't need to have thousands of subscribers. Look, if y'all just want to be a guest on the stream, talk about your own systems and strategies, and come chill. As long as you got like a few hundred subs, y'all are good. Just reach out to me on Discord, brother. Oh, y'all can't hear the music, man? My bad, team. Man, I've been rocking out here. Let me go ahead and fix the music, though. Yeah, y'all are good, man. Y'all want to come on the stream? Y'all hit me up. Hey, what's up, Patrick? This song is dope. Listen. Yeah, come on, Flex. Hit me up, brother. You know, like I said, y'all can come on. What I'd really like, though, guys, what I'd really love is I'd love for the channel to hit 24,000 subscribers soon. Y'all hit that like and subscribe button, team. Let's do this. Hey, yeah, shout out to Mexico. If it's the Mexican Independence Day, shout out to Mexico for their independence. Yeah, Kodak is trying here. Look, here's Kodak. We're watching it, though. You know. I'm watching Kodak. It's not bad. But yeah, guys, I took 800 shares today, so I'm definitely trading a little bit larger. It ended up backfiring on me. But yeah, we're good, you know. Alright, I'm in Apple. I'm going short right now. Shorting into the big support and resistance there. And we're gonna take half off of Apple there. Still holding 50 shares. Well, maybe we'll add some more if we want. Alright, we're with 200 shares, or no, we're in with 100 shares of Apple, guys, so wish me luck. I'm trying to catch these moves. See if we get a flush under 1470s. There's 90s, 70s, 60s. We're going to add another 50 shares to this one, see if we can short into this move and just use a rejection. We're using about 115 as a risk. I don't like the squeeze. I think this is actually a really strong move on Apple's part, but yeah, I gotta get out there. Watching Kodak still. Kodak's trying. Like I said, guys, I think if you're looking at this, we got a few big levels to watch for Kodak specifically. We got $10. We got 1040s. Yeah, we got maybe 975 right here. Maybe. Or really it's about 980. But those 3 levels are the biggest levels recently for Kodak here. And we'll see what happens, but those are the big levels right now, I think. I'm looking at Apple, maybe wanting to short into it up to 115, maybe. Yeah, we're in. And so we're in with 150 shares. We're gonna take half off there, holding a little bit more here, down to the 70s, holding 75 shares left. All right, we're squeezing over 115 for Apple. I'm gonna have to get out. Rejecting, which is good. Trying. Alright, we're in with 150 shares again. We're gonna see if this thing can flush. There we go. '90s. Gonna have to get out over 115 for Apple, but I'm just trying to scalp the momentum leading up to that. Probably about to get out though. Right. 97, 98, 99. Close. Watching the momentum, 98s. 93s. Okay, good. Alright, so yeah, we're getting rejected there for Apple again. We just want to see this one under 115. Show you guys Apple. We'll come back to Kodak. We're shorting into the whole dollar here. We got this whole dollar at 115. That's what we're shorting into with Apple right here. So you see, we're shorting into this 115 level. 150 shares. We're gonna take half off there, protect our move. All right, so we shorted into this big 115 whole dollar resistance, which is what I was talking about, guys. This whole dollar, half and whole dollars are one of the single easiest things for traders to pick up and start to really profit from. Look at the squeeze down that we're getting. Still holding. Boom. All right, yeah, we got out of there. So we nailed the short. And again, I'm going to make a video about this specifically today. And so I'm going to make a video about this today on profiting from half and whole dollars like this. Because it's just a really accurate and a really profitable way to trade these systems and strategies like this. No, I'm at 30,000 basically. I'm at about 30,000 subscribers. We're about 400 subs away from 30K, right? So the easiest way to help support your boy here is just by hitting that like and subscribe button, guys. Specifically that sub button. Help support your boy here. Yeah, we're watching Kodak too. I'm also going to be developing some strategies that allow me to trade penny stocks after the first 15-20 minutes of the day. I know I usually just get in and out in that first 30-40 minutes, but I'm going to be developing some strategies that are a little bit longer term with specific penny stocks. Kodak consolidating around 10. Remember what I said was the big level here for Kodak, which is just $10 right now. we are going to put the Toro challenge up here some. Whoops. So yeah, this is the challenge account, guys. So this is the Toro challenge account. We're trying to hit that 1,500 in profit. This is my total green shares right now. Anybody hear my freaking neighbor, bro? This dude is always cutting grass, man. Always, bro. Alright, there we go. Look at that, shorting into Apple on this little pop here. So just to show you guys Apple. I am looking to shorting into Apple on this little pop. I'm in with 75 shares. Looking for a flush under these levels. I can use 1480s as my risk. We're in with 75 shares. We'll maybe add some more here into this. Looking for a quick rejection back down. There's 70s. We're going to add a little bit more here. We're in with 150 shares at this point. Using a 90 level, 114.90 as a risk point. So 150 shares of Apple. We're looking for the flush down under the 114.70s. We need the 60s to hit. Alright, we're break even right now. You can see this is my P&L from this trade specifically. Looking for the breakdown. There's 70s, 69s. We're break even here for Apple. Like I said, we're looking for a flush. I'm probably trying to risk off of like 114.90s maybe. Dude, my neighbor needs to stop cutting his grass every day, bro. But yeah, you guys want to hear the story about the creepy neighbor? The creepy neighbor? I'll tell that story in a second. And honestly shows how creepy some people can be. MYO guys in penny stock land just spiked up. MYO just ripped. We can maybe add another 50 shares to this thing. Alright, I like the flush. I like the flush here. '76s, 75s, okay. I like the flush, 72s, 71s. Let's see if we hold now. No. All right, I'm in with 200 shares. We're using this 84 level as our risk, which you're right at now. All right, so the 84 held. guess I use 114.90, but my fault, guys. I held this one too long. I'm out of here. Apple must have some type of catalyst coming in. Worst case scenario there, but luckily I was profitable in the day already. But yeah, bad squeeze. Yeah, I mean, you can't hold overnight though, Austin. Alright, so we're going to see about Apple here. We got a rejection off of 115s. If we get back under 175s, then I'll short. So we're watching this move on Apple. What's another stock? I've been trading Apple almost every day, and I think some of the volatility is starting to slow for Apple specifically here. What's another stock that we could look at that has a good range, like Zoom? Right? Zoom's got a pretty solid range. GameStop, I know I've been trading a lot lately. MYO making some moves in penny stock land. Here's MYO. SQ. The SQ's being voluminous too. We got a double top in Apple that I'm really loving here. So under 114.75, I might jump in Apple. Kodak is back under $10, guys. So Kodak is back under 10. I mean, I make money. What's up, Young? Hope you're doing well, bro. I make money on penny stocks, and I've been very green on penny stocks. I haven't had a losing week in you know, a while trading penny stocks, and so I think if anybody's just now tuning in the last few days, it's a little bit misleading. I won actually yesterday, so I made money yesterday. Today I'm down in penny stocks, but again, I think that it would have been a green day, and I just kind of forced it. I made that user error, which is that I doubled down on my position instead of covering, which I was trying to cover, and I accidentally just added twice as much shares and then lost on that trade. So, you know, it is what it is. But all that stuff's my fault. I'm in Apple right now, 150 shares. There we go. Alright, we took out half of the position there with Apple, caught the breakdown. Still in with 75 shares, and I might add some sizing back here into a little pop. Alright, so we're adding into that. We added into that pop. We're in 150 shares. Looking for the breakdown under 114.60, specifically down to 114.50 is what we're looking for here with Apple. So here's the break. Yeah, there's 50s. Good. We're going to take half off there again, holding 75 shares. There's 50s close enough, so we got it. We're going to look for a bounce back and then maybe add some more back to this. All right, yeah, we're shorting back into it. Another 75 shares. We'll add some more. Add some more up here, 70s. We're gonna add another 75 shares in with 150 now. Looking for the flush. Gonna take half off there. Caught it. There's 150s. Beautiful. Loving it. we're gonna get out there. So nailed that. Back up to about $40 in Apple, but I caught the breakdown, scalping that move. What else we got, team? We got like GE starting to rip. It's been a while since I traded cannabis stocks. Should I trade Tesla? I'm looking at shorting into Apple again on this bounce back though. I'm back in shorting Apple, 75 shares. GameStop is starting to rip up though, team. GameStop, GME. Alright, I'm in. I doubled down into Apple. I'm in with 150 shares now. Looking for it to break under 114.50. There we go. Alright, we took half off there. Holding 75 shares, got the break under 114.50. We'll use the $0.50 as our risk now. 44s. Okay, we got out there. About break even. We'll still short into it, but all right, let's try it again. 75 shares this time. Alright, we're shorting with 150 shares now. 43s. 24s, 41s. There we go. Alright, we took half off there. We're holding 75 shares left. Just scalping these moves. Alright, so we just took that off too, so we got out of that. But yeah, scalping this move here on Apple. We're getting a pop back up. I appreciate it, Young. Oh no, you're good, brother. Hope you're doing well, man. Young, what's up, bro? Not as well. So does my non-penny stock strategy work on penny stocks? Not as well. There's just with this scalping strategy that I'm using. Like if you guys watch me, I'm green almost every day. But if you guys watch me, this scalping strategy that I'm implementing, it usually works mostly on mid and high caps. Alright, we're going to get in with 75 shares here just to see if we get this breakdown. We're going to use 114.50 as a risk here, okay? So we're going to 114.50 as a risk right here. And we're going to look for a flush and a break of these lows is what we're really shooting for here. 130s. Break even. 33s, 31s. It's trying, but we need a burst and breakdown to be able to get it. 37s, 38s, 46s. We're gonna add a little bit more. We're gonna add 75 shares. 150 position now. See if we get a flush. 25 is where we'll take profit at this point. Probably gonna get squeezed out here. But I hope you guys can understand, like, I gave myself a very specific risk and a very specific... Yeah, I'm out. So I got squeezed out there, but I give myself a very specific risk and reward for these type of trades. So I know exactly where I'm going to get in, exactly where I'm going to get out. GameStop, breaking highs. See if we can hold here. I don't mind jumping in on a little dip after this high of the day break. We're going to get in with the 175 shares here at GameStop. Oh, no, that's Apple. Oh, no. No, mistake there. Oops. My mistake. Really wanted GameStop. Alright, we're in with the 175 shares at GameStop. First trade that wasn't Apple this morning. Kodak is breaking down. Let's see 950 on Kodak. Let's watch 950. Alright, Apple did reject off of that level, so I'm still bummed out. I might short a little bit into that too. Oops, where's the position bar? Okay, I'm in. No, I'm not. Okay, I'm in now, I guess. Alright, GameStop is up. Apple is a little bit more volatile here. 41s. Alright, we're going to scalp that. We're out of Apple there. We caught a little $15 win. We might scalp this low of the day break here in Apple as well. We're at 25s. I'm jumping in there. I think we're going to break it. I'm going to get in with 200 shares here for a big trade. Up, there it is. Alright, we're taking half off there for Apple. We're still holding another 100 shares. Caught the breakdown. We're going to get out there. So, nailed that trade. I'm going to get out of GameStop. GameStop's not moving like I wanted to. It's just too slow. I'm only down like $2. So we're going to get out of GameStop here and just flat that position. Currently above $60 on the day. I'm going to short a little bit more of Apple here into this bounce. Looking for the previous low of the day to hold at 23s. There we go. Well, kind of the worst case scenario here, honestly, with Apple, to be honest. Not really what I wanted. But we can get out for a $13 loss, so pretty small there. Maybe we'll attack this one again. We'll wait. We'll have to wait. Alright, we're back in with 150 shares of Apple. Looking for this flush after the pop that we can sell into or cover into. 20s. Nice. Alright, we're going to take half off there. Holding 75 shares left of Apple. We did get that rejection. We're going to add another 150 shares. We're in with the, or another 75 shares. We're in with 150 of Apple. Looking for the flush down under 114.25. And if we don't get it, we're just going to cover. There's 29s, 28s, 27s, 26. Maybe this is my fault. Probably is. There's 28s, 26s again. $31s, 30s, 28s again. All right, so we're good. We just need this one to hold. It's rangy right now. 28s. 25s. 26s, 25s. 25 is going to be a $0.25 level. It's going to be a pain to break. Alright, we got the breakdown 22s. Yeah, we're going to take half off there and hold the 75 shares. There we go. We're gonna take half off there. So yeah, right back here. So we caught the Apple breakdown. Hey, y'all, remember to hit that subscribe button as well, guys. Y'all want to do me a favor? Smash that subscribe button. I definitely appreciate it if you do. We do this live for free, and I know a lot of you guys like penny stocks, and so y'all kind of leave the channel once I start trading mid and high caps. But again, we are going to be developing some strategies to attack mid and high cap stocks after the first 15 minutes, and so we are going to be working on that type of stuff. So just stick around, hit the subscribe button. I definitely appreciate it. Our videos have been getting great reviews, and so if you guys want to check out some of our most recent videos in the market, I got a few videos for you to watch. This one reviews the best crossover setups in the morning, and so y'all go check out this video. Best moving average strategies right there. So yeah, y'all hit that like and subscribe button, team. We got 158 people here. Or 158 people here that hit that like button, guys. I definitely appreciate it. What is that? What is that? Okay, so yeah, if you guys listen, if we can get 10 more subscribes, I'll tell the crazy neighbor story. All right, I'm gonna jump in with 75 shares here on Apple. See if we get the breakdown under 114. Over 114.25, I gotta bail out of this thing though. 22s, 44s. Yeah, I gotta get out. But yeah, if we can get 10 more subscribes, I'll tell the crazy neighbor story. I like that upwick. We're gonna see if we can short into that upwick right now. I don't like that move though. I don't like that at all. Yeah, it looked good, but I think I'm sitting in it too long. MYO breaking highs, guys. Look at this range right here for MYO. 540. GameStop ended up ripping up too. MXC showing up on the scanners. I'm curious to see where the previous closing price is for Apple too. Oh, so that's way above us. Okay. Yeah, look at that. All right. This is the lamp of 114. Yeah, we're gonna add into this to see if we reject off of 114.50 here. There's 30s. Now we're gonna add another 150 shares. Close to exiting. Man, worst case scenario again here too, man. I try to give it time to break 114.50s, but worst case scenario, man, this thing just squeezed up fast on me. Basically, that's how you get back some big profits on the day. I'll let 115.60s hit, but man. Alright, I gotta get myself out of the market, guys. I'm just gonna tell my story in a second. My crazy neighbor story. Alright, so there we go. We're getting a little bit of a flush down. I'm trying to give this patience, especially with this rejection, right? So, like, I want to see it under 114.50. It looks to be wanting to hold at 114.50, but there we go. Okay, so we just needed to hold underneath this and continue to look weak here. And 114.60 is kind of the line in the sand for this one. Alright, so we're under it. There's 43s. Alright, so we're basically about break even now, which is great. I'm going to go ahead and take half off there just to protect the trade, just because it's been a little swingy of a position. We're in holding 75 shares left of this on Apple. Hey, I appreciate the sub. Shout out to Jason. I appreciate the love, brother. Yeah, y'all be like Jason and hit the subscribe button. We do this live for free every day, and we teach people the strategies we use while not claiming to be experts or anything like that. And so if you appreciate, free content that we put out there like this every single weekday for free, smash that like and subscribe button, guys. I definitely appreciate it. If you hit the sub button, really easy way to help support us. All right, there's the breakdown. 20s, 25s. We're gonna get a bounce there, I think. So yeah, we're up $60 on the day. I'll take it. Do you trade and do e-commerce full-time? Because I'm 15 years old, looking for advice, please, John. Any advice? Yeah, I got you, bro. I'll give you some advice, man. Ooh, man, I missed out on the Apple breakdown. Let me see. We're trying. I'm in. 75 shares here. We're gonna add into it up to 14.25. When's a new candle opening up? There, we got a little while. Alright. There's 12s. Right, we got about 10 seconds for a new candle, which is really what we need here. I think a new candle to pull back some. If we get a big flush back up or a big rip back up, I gotta exit and unload this thing. Alright, there's the new candle. There's 12s, 11s, okay? I was kind of wanting to add into that spot, but we'll see if we get another bounce back to add into. There's our 3s, there's the break. Alright, so where's the breakdown? We caught it. Should have added. Ah, my fault. We'll see if it holds at 114 now. There's 114 to the 1s. We're going to see 1390s. The 4s, the 1s. The 2s. Move it right back up. 12s. Alright, we're going to add into it here. So we're in with 150 shares. This is like worst case scenario too. I gotta get out soon. Well, this is how you get back all your profits again. 25s, 19s. Okay, we're back down here, which is great. 150 shares. We just need this thing to hold. 14s. 20s. Come on, 21s. There we go. That's what we want to see. Elevens. Okay. We're going to take half off here. I'm getting a little nervous in this one. And so we're gonna take half off and let it test this the rest of the way. About break even. 10s, 8s, 7s, 6, 15s. Look at all these down wicks. So there's a lot of buying pressure at the bottom here. There's a big wall of buyers. So there's a lot of buying pressure. You can see these wicks on Apple. I'm trying to be patient with this to see, but it's just too much buying pressure coming in. There's 05s. Okay, so we waited, and I guess it was the right move. We just need this to hold down here for once. It's finding so much support at the whole dollar of 114 that it's just ripping up anytime it gets close to that. There we go, 114s. There we go. And we're out. So we finally caught the breakdown. Up about $70 on the day. Here's 19s. Yeah, I got you. I'll help you out. Yeah, what's going live soon, Brandon? It's alright, man. Like I said, I'm just scalping these moves, right? Like, in the end, I'm green. If you guys watch the stream, or this Toro Challenge thing, I am green a huge percentage of the time. Very, very profitable with my mid and high cap system. And this is actually the system that made me my money in the market. Like, this system, if you guys have been following the stream for any significant amount of time, you know that I've been trading this scalping system for about a year now. And on TradeNet and TEFs, when they did accept US clients, I grew that account to like $8,000. You know, after the profit split, I only got $6,800, but like that was my biggest money I've made in the market. I made $7,000 basically from the scalping mid and high cap system using TradeNet. And TradeNet doesn't accept US clients anymore, unfortunately. If you're overseas, you could still use them though. And so if you're in Canada, if you're overseas, or if you're not in the US, basically, you can still use TradeNet. The base package, I think, is $400. Gives you 14,000 to trade with. No PDT rule. 70-30 profit split like a prop firm. Comes with the course, all that good stuff. But again, people hate on TradeNet. But like the reason I'll post the link for them again is because they paid me my money. They actually processed my withdrawal. And I heard it from a lot of other people that they processed their withdrawals as well. And so I did get my money from them. And so, yeah, if you're overseas, like I said, if you're in the US, they're not going to accept you. But if you're overseas, yeah, they don't accept US clients anymore. But if you are overseas, you can use them. There's the link for that right there in the chat. Like I said, I think that's the easiest way. And listen, people are going to hate on them. They're going to call them all these bad names and stuff, right? But like I said, the reality is they processed my withdrawal and they wired me my money. And so in the end, they pay out. If you make money with them, they pay out, you know, like a prop firm. And it just works out really well. But now with all of that nonsense out the way, let's go ahead and we'll do the neighbor story. You guys ready for the neighbor story? I guess we'll do that right now. If you are in the US, you can use the Toro Challenge. And the Toro Challenge is what I'm doing here. Unfortunately, I can't use TradeNet, but I can use the Toro Challenge. And like what the Toro Challenge does is it's a funded account program for US people. So people in the US, you can use the Toro Challenge. It's subscription based, and so if you pay by the month, it's $2.99 a month. But if you can make $1,500 in profit while following the rest of their rules, they refund you your subscription. So say you pay $300 for the base package, right? And say you grow that account and you make $1,500 in profit without losing over $200 a day and without losing over $1,000 total. So it's a 1.5 to 1 reward to risk ratio. They refund you that $300 subscription cost and they fund you 25 grand. They refund the subscription and they fund you 25 grand. It's a really dope platform, I think. And if you pay quarterly as well, like if you decide to pay quarterly, it's only $160 a month if you pay quarterly. And that's like on par with like DOS paper trading, for instance. It's the same thing, but this is a funded account challenge. You can try it multiple times as well. So it's not like you're only limited to one time. And I think there's a lot of benefits there. And so if you want to check this out, there's the link for that. I certainly have a higher win rate with mid and high caps, for sure. It depends, man. With mid and high caps, I'm just trading a lot. Like today, for instance. I just trade a lot, right? So it's a completely different system. Like with mid and high caps, like really what's made me the most money ever in trading, it's just very active. Like you guys can see, I'm just kind of watching momentum move, scalping using really good support and resistance calculations, right? So I'm looking at where the support and resistance is on the chart, and I'm using little subtle nuances in how a stocks move to profit like this. And I do this almost every day, but I make my money. And like I said, it's the easiest, the best system I've ever had in trading is my mid and high cap scalping system. I've made bank trading it. Yeah, I got you, Mike. I'm gonna talk to you about it in a second, brother. All right, so let's do the neighbor story. Have we had 10 subs? We gotta have 10 subs. Let's see. We need that 10 subs though, team. We need it. We haven't had 10 subs, guys. We need 10 subs. We need to. You gotta hit that subscribe button, team. You gotta do it. You gotta smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button, guys. If you have not subscribed and you're watching this channel, if you want to hear the neighbor story, you got to hit the subscribe button. Everybody's doing it. The cool kids, popular kids are even hitting the subscribe button. All of them are doing it. They're all talking about it. The cool kids are definitely doing it. So you want to be like them, hit the subscribe button. Do it now. Everybody's doing it. Do it now. Yeah, we got Mordecai as well in the chat talking about what, some really dope stocks. Doing a lot of cool stuff as well. We had Mordecai on stream. If you missed the earlier part of the stream, we did have Mordecai here talking about a lot of dope stuff too. So hit the subscribe button, guys. We do this live every day. I'm going to tell the neighbor story about my creepy neighbor. I'm not going to say his I almost cursed. I'm not going to say his freaking name. Honestly, this dude pisses me off so much. He's I'm legit scared for my family, to be honest. It's a little bit crazy, but I'll tell the story for pure entertainment value alone. And I'm not going to use his name or his real name or anything like that. Nah, don't worry about it. Yeah, we gotta subscribe if you want the story. We need 6 more subscribers, team. All right, there's Apple breaking down. Maybe I'll scalp a little bit into this breakdown here. Yeah, we're gonna get in with 75 shares. Any pop over 117.80, I'm out. Or 113.80s. I'm out. 173s, 74s, 72s. Okay. 60s. We need like 113.50 is like the ideal profit target here. I don't know if we're gonna get it, but over 113.80s. And we gotta get out of this thing. There's 70s, 69s. Okay, there's the break. '67s. Doesn't look like it wants to hold though. This is the really momentum breakdown that we really want to see. Yeah, I gotta get out there. It's alright. $10 loss. Alright, guys. Yeah, Young. Hey, bro, Young. I'm in Texas, bro. I'm not gonna say anything specific, but like I said, man, this is the wrong house. Which is, yeah, like I said, I'm not actually scared, but like it's just super creepy, bro. No, it's not the grass cutter. It's a different neighborhood. This neighbor actually is not like right next to me. Ah, man, there's Apple's breakdown. This neighbor is not like right next to me. Do it now. Yeah, he probably is watching the stream, honestly, realistically. See, look, I wanted 113.50s, and I just wimped out here. That's alright. No, it's not the grass cutter. It's a neighbor. It's a neighbor that doesn't live next to me. He lives like, yeah, I'm not gonna say exactly where. He lives not directly across from me. He just, that's all I'm gonna say. Right. So, yeah, story time. We're doing story time today. All right. We got a few stories that I can tell on today's stream. Today's story is about, and we'll try to do story time every day around this time. To keep the stream interesting, we're going to do story time today. All right. So we moved to this house. I moved to this house 5 years ago, right? Nice house in the burbs, you know, nice house, nice neighborhood, North Houston suburbs, you know, normal neighborhood for the most part, right? And so we moved here about 5 years ago. And when we moved here, we got this one neighbor that's got these little dogs, right? This dude's got these little dogs. And so we move here. And from like the older white man, you know, gray hair, you know, beard, you know what I mean? Little out of shape, but, you know, no judgment there. You know, older white man, this dude's got to be like, I don't know, 65, 50, 60 something, I don't know. Right, older white man. And so anyways, so this dude's got these little dogs, and he lets these little dogs run around. We're on a cul-de-sac here, so he lets these dogs run around on the cul-de-sac, right? And so, you know, I don't really try to be friends with my neighbors because I don't feel like talking to somebody every time I go outside, right? Like, I would rather just keep it on a civil, you know, courtesy basis. Like, hey, how you doing? Oh, hey, how you doing? See you later. All right, see you later. That's the only interaction I really like to have with my neighbors. And sure, we got some neighbors that I talk to, and I'm chill with all the neighbors around my house, right? Like, all the neighbors around my house, like, I'm chill with, right? But, you know, you guys have met my wife, Carol. You know, in my opinion, she's very attractive, you know. She's a very attractive young woman. And so we move here, and I start to get these weird looks by this neighbor, right? These just strange looks. Like I said, older white man, looks like Santa Claus, kind of, just to give you a visual image. You know, so I start to get these weird looks by this dude, right? I don't think anything of it. I end up telling Carol, I'm like, look, dude, this dude's freaking me out. Man, this dude's just staring at me. And it'd be looks like Carol and I are pulling out of our driveway, and this dude's dogs are out on the street. And like, he's out there letting his dogs run around. And so it's like, as we're driving away in the truck, this dude just stares at our truck, just eyeballs it, and just kind of like not smiling, not really frowning, just kind of stares at the truck and like watches it drive away. So kind of creepy, right? Eventually, my wife starts to talk to this guy just to be civil. Like, the way my wife is, the way Carol is, like, she's just trying to be nice to these people. Like, she doesn't want awkwardness between our neighbors. So, like, she talks to all of our different neighbors just to say hey and keep it civil. We're not trying to be friends with any of these neighbors. But, you know, I'm more of the type of guy that'll just be like, yeah, F you, I'm out of here. Like, I don't need to talk to you. But, like, she feels the need to be civil and nice to everybody. And I'm not mean. I'm just not sticking around to talk to you. But anyways, so she starts to, and she's friendly with this guy. And, you know, everything's normal. But the guy starts to become more and more kind of obsessed, right? The dude shows up over here trying to help us do everything, like trying to help us bring groceries in and do all that weird stuff, right? And like, that's cool, like, whatever. I start to be somewhat friends with him, just nice to him in general. Like, I'm not friends with him, but like, I'll talk to him if I see him out there, right? Normal stuff, normal neighbor stuff, right? So one day, Carol comes up to me, my wife Carol. One day she comes up to me and she's like, hey baby, this dude is sending me some weird stuff. You know, so she came up to me and said, hey, this guy's starting to text me some strange stuff here. And so I'm like, well, what is he texting you? And like, she shows me some strange text messages that he had just sent her. And she's like, this is starting to be concerning, because she's like, look, I'm just trying to be nice to this guy. She came up to me and told me, like, look, this dude's being kind of weird. What do you think? You know, let's get a different opinion. She's like, I thought they were weird. I'm trying to see what you think about these. So I look at the text messages, and they are for sure just strange. Like it's almost like it's an old guy trying to shoot his shot with Carol, right? But like I said, Carol immediately tells me about the weirdness, and we're just kind of like, well, how do we do this? Let's just ignore it, because it's not weird enough. Like the messages were not weird enough for us to be able to be like, yo, like, stay away from my wife, like, you're being weird to my wife, right? If I would have done that to him, he would have just been like, whoa, what are you talking about? You're crazy, you know? But they were obviously strange text messages. Carol, my wife Carol, actually texted the messages to her dad as well, just to get another opinion, saying, hey dad, does this seem a little off to you? And even her dad was like, yeah, this is off, this is strange, you know, like ignore that guy, you know what I mean? And so sure enough, we kind of debate the different options. We could either call him out on it, which is going to make things super awkward, or, you know, let's just ignore this dude from now on. And so that's what we start to do. We start to just ignore the dude. But before we even do that, this dude just starts to get really weird with us. You know, he starts to get really strange with us. And eventually it gets to the point where, like, we just cut off communications with him. But it's like, this dude is acting super weird and like super emotional. He was texting Carol things like just strange stuff. I don't really want to go into details with it. Just very specific, like, obsessive things, you know. And so we kind of get into the mode where we're just going to ignore this guy, right? Like, we're just going to ignore this guy. We could confront him, and then he would be like, yo, what are you talking about? You're crazy. You're overreacting. You know, he would make himself a victim if we did that, right? So we figured the best thing to do is just to ignore this dude, right? Like, just ignore him. Like, we're not going to, like, we'll wave to this guy. Like, we'll wave and say, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And then we'll just move on our way. We're not going to talk to him. Carol isn't going to text back. We're just going to leave this alone. And so once we do that, this dude starts to act super weird. Right? Just super weird. Like we left one day. My wife and I both left one day, and we have like security cameras all around our house, right? Like, we've got security cameras, like a legit security system here. So we leave one day, both of our cars are gone. We come back, this dude's in our yard. He's letting his dogs just poop in our yard, right? And so, like, I sit there and I just kind of look at him, and he like scurries onto his house, right? And just leaves, just acts really weird. Another time, both of us leave and I come back, and there's like a nail, or there's like a nail in our driveway behind my truck tire. There's like a nail. And so at that point, I'm like, well, yo, this dude's taking it to the other, like, this dude's acting crazy. It's hard to pinpoint and be like, yo, this was him. But he was in my yard with his dogs while both of us were gone, and then there was a nail behind the tire. And it wasn't like stood up nail. It was almost like he was trying to put it there, and then we pulled up and it fell over. So it's not like it was sticking up out of the ground, but there was a nail behind my tire. And so at this point, we start researching it, and this is what is called a relationship-based stalker. So it's like, this dude was like so obsessed with my wife Carol that like he thought they were in a relationship. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, I trust Carol. You know what I mean? But Carol's coming up to me worried. You know, Carol's coming up to me like, hey baby, this is freaking me out. And so it's like, I go talk to, we got a neighbor I call the judge, right? He's across the street. He lives across the street from me. He was a judge, right? This dude was like a judge as his profession. And so like, he's going to know legally what we should do there. And so I go tell him the situation. I just kind of ask for his advice. I'm just kind of like, look, man, what should I do in this situation? And he was like, well, you should probably just leave it alone. People like this. And his logic was like this, okay? His logic was, sometimes people like this think they're slicker than they are, think they're more slick than they actually are. And so if you confront them about it, it might make them, regardless of what the cops say or do, it might make him go even more crazy, and like that might be the tipping point. And so what did you want to accomplish from this? And I was like, well, we just want the dude to leave us alone. He's freaking us out, right? And the neighbor's like, well, mission accomplished. Like that's what you got. Like you got exactly what you want, which is that he's just leaving you alone now. And like, let's not add fuel to the fire. And so that's what we did. We're just kind of like, all right, fine, like whatever, right? But every time we see this dude it's awkward. You know, we'll see this guy, and like sometimes we'll just kind of like wave to him just so it's not awkward, and he'll just stare at us and like won't wave back and just kind of scurrily walk the other way. I never see this dude's wife. Like I've seen this dude's wife 2 times in 5 years, you know, and it's just a really weird situation. Like, I don't know if the dude like drinks and like makes a bunch of dumb decisions, but like, or if he's like really OCD and like, I don't know. But like, the point is, there's weirdness there with this dude. Like, there's a lot of strange weirdness there with this dude. And, yeah, like I said, if anything ever happens to us, you know, y'all remember the neighbor story I told you guys. But again, we're in Texas, and this is the wrong house to break into. And so I doubt he's going to break into our house or anything. And if he did, like I said, I'm in Texas right now. This is the wrong house, you know. But that's the weird neighbor story. And like I said, we've researched it. We think he's what's called a relationship-based stalker, which is just that he doesn't have much to do. Maybe he thought, like, my wife Carol was nice to him because she's nice to all of our neighbors. Like, she texts all of our neighbors Merry Christmas, trying to be civil and friendly. And I think this dude just freaked out. And it's like, why do they gotta be weird, bro? Like, listen, man. Like, why does it have to be weird? Like, why can't we just ignore it? Like, why can't we just be normal? You know what I mean? Like, why can't people just not get weird? And like, listen, I get it. Like, Carol's like attractive. You know what I mean? Like, she's beautiful and attractive and young. And you know what I mean? Like, if I was an old dude and single, I'd probably be trying to holler at them too. You know? But, come on now, man. Like, don't make the whole situation weird. Like, we gotta live next to you, bro. Like, you're gonna make the whole cul-de-sac weird, man? Like, what's the point? You know? Just unnecessary and just strange. Like, just obsessively strange. And if you guys saw some of the text message he was seeing, and the fact that he thought these text messages were appropriate is even stranger. You know what I mean? But that's the story. If I get murdered, you know who did it. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and that's true. And listen, like I said, I'm in Texas. This is the wrong house. You know, this is the wrong house. You know, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get specific, but this is the wrong house. You know. But yeah, that's the crazy neighbor story. We'll tell another story tomorrow at around this time. But that's the crazy neighbor story. That's how it went. All right, I'm going to short into Apple here because I can use that 114 level. It's just a really easy risk point. All right, so we're getting the breakdown. Loving it. All right, so we're short in Apple here. There's 80s. '83s, '82s. Loving it. All right, we're just going to get out there, take the money. Maybe we bounce up to 114. We'll scalp a little bit more. I think I need to add a little bit larger initial position than just 75 shares. All right, we're in with 100 shares here of Apple. I'm going to use 114 as my risk. '83s. I got to watch this in case of 114 break. 95s, 97s, 99s. We're going to short into this actually here. We're in with 200 shares. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're going to take half off there. And we're holding 100 shares left here. Catching the breakdown. 187s. 93s, 95s. I mean, I'm probably break even now. 94s, 92s. I just want to see this break down. 90s. 86s, 85s. Lovely. Let's see, 90s. We're just going to get out here and take the money. So we're up about $70 on the day. A little bit less. Yeah, for sure. And like I said, that's what I keep telling my wife, Nola. Nola says, hey, you need to be careful. I know, man. This is what I keep telling her. I'm like, hey, look. And I tell her, I was like, this is how this stuff happens. Like, this is how people happens. Like, one day, the dude's just going to have a bad day and just snap on us, right? Like, that's what's going to happen. And, like, I'm trying to move. But, like, my wife likes it here, and she likes the neighborhood and stuff. But, like, I'm trying to get out of here. And like I said, at least if this stream can be anything, at least it's proof, right? Like, if anything ever happens, you guys heard the story here. You know who did it. You know what I mean? And at least this will be, like, evidence. Like, documented evidence, at least, if that ever does happen. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, it's the wrong house. He ain't about to come in here and act crazy because, you know, like I said, that's just going to be a mistake. I'm not going to specify anything, but that's just going to be a mistake. But outside one day, I don't know. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know why neighbors get weird, man. I think people just get obsessive and lonely. You know what I mean? And, like, people latch on to certain things for whatever reason, and it just causes stuff like this. And like I said, I think it just has to do with, like, obsession and loneliness. And so, you know, people got to go get help, you know. The crazy thing is that, like, I'm sure he probably thinks the way he acted was perfectly, like, appropriate and acceptable. And, like, that's what's so crazy about it. Because it's like anybody objectively looking at this is going to be like, yo, you're a freaking weirdo, bro. Like, get away from me, dude. Like, you're weird. But, like I said, people fool themselves and they justify acting like that. And I think it's just a weird situation. Nah, she's, yeah, Trader, we're already on that. She's good, man. Like I said, I'm not going to be specific. You don't want to walk up to Carol with no nonsense either, though. But, you know, but yeah, we're good. We're already on that. For that exact reason. Like, we ain't about to play with this dude. Like, you know, we're just not going to say anything. He wants to get weird, you know. Wrong house, but... Right, can you blame him? He's an old guy who thinks he still has it. I mean, listen. It's one thing, like, listen, if I was older, like, if I was 60, 65 and single, you know what I mean? I'd be trying to holler at young women, too. Like, I can get it, right? But there's a difference between just trying to holler at somebody and being very inappropriate with, like, a married woman, right? There's a huge difference there. You know what I mean? Like, I get trying to, like, listen, if Carol and I weren't married or like, it was, you know what I mean? And he was just trying to holler at her, like, look, like, yeah, I'm gonna be like, yo, that ain't you, bro. But I'm also not gonna, like, think he's about to murder me. You know what I mean? But, like, there's just a difference. Like, there's a difference in how it was. And like I said, when I'm older, if I'm single, you know, if I was single and older, I ain't judging you for that. I'd be trying to do it too. But this dude, like I said, if you guys knew the text messages, this dude sent some weird stuff. I mean, just like off stuff. And he did it in a way to where it wasn't super obvious. But it's like, Carol had her kind of alarms go off in her head, like, yo, like, this is weird. And then she told me about it, but, you know, just strange. Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, for our anniversary, I actually bought my wife a SIG 365. If you know what that is, you know, so she's good. She's got a carry and all that stuff. But like I said, in the end, it's just uneasy. It causes a weird vibe over here, you know. I'm trying to move, but there's been other times, where my wife would go to, like, HEB. Like, Carol went to HEB one time, and this dude just conveniently is there. And she, like, calls me immediately and just sits on the phone with me because she's freaked out. So like there's been weirdness, and that was before it really got weird, but like there's been weirdness. So anyway, somebody else wanted to ask me about my businesses, and I think what I might do is I might do this for the stream, guys. I might do this to where we do the stream, and then I have another business channel where we go live and we talk about strategies and or like businesses. We might have like a little business section. Like maybe, I mean, I can either do it on this channel and just keep like 11 o'clock market time as kind of like business time for us to talk about like online businesses and stuff like that. Or I do have another channel called Beginner Business and Investing that we can talk about business there as well. If you guys don't know me, and you don't know kind of about me and what I'm about. So yeah, I'm a trader. I do this YouTube thing, and both of those make money for me. I'm definitely not living solely off of my trading profits, but like both trading and this YouTube, I've made money doing both, right? But what I also do is I'm a freelance web developer, front end, JavaScript, React Native mostly, mostly just web apps. Is what I do the most, just web applications and websites. But so I do that freelance. I'm also a real estate agent, and so I have my real estate license as well. And if you guys ever need a real estate agent, if you're in Texas maybe and you need an agent, or even if you know somebody that needs to buy or sell real estate, regardless of what state they're in, just let me know and I can refer you to the best agent in your area, and it's another good way to help support me. If you want to check out my real estate site, I'll post this here. I'm with eXp Realty, so if you have ever wanted to become a real estate agent, eXp's got a really dope system for real estate. But also, I'm a licensed real estate agent here in Texas, but I can refer you to an agent regardless of what state you're in. And so, like I said, you know somebody that wants to buy or sell real estate, you know, I can refer you to best agent in your area. We can talk about trading, or if you're in Texas specifically, hit me up. You know, I can show you some houses. We could talk about trading the whole time. It'd be fun. So yeah, there's the link if you want to check that out. Oh wait, I don't know. Maybe this isn't the right one. Let me see if this brings me to the right thing. Hold on. Yeah, that works. Okay, so yeah. Also, if you want to reach out to me, just leave your number here. Calling the number on that website is not going to get you me. Like, I'm not going to put my public number out there for a number of different reasons. But just send me an email at beginnertrading@gmail.com. Or, you know, message me on Discord if you know somebody like that. But yeah, so anyways, what I was going to say, somebody's asking me about business and like online businesses. And I think this is the reality. Before I really found success at anything, like just to put it into perspective, guys. So like I trade, I run this YouTube, I'm a real estate agent, I'm a freelance web developer, and I run 2 different Amazon businesses, and I also own different websites that bring in income. And so I do a bunch of different things. I'm super diversified in that way. But as for businesses, what you really want to understand is that you're going to fail most of the businesses you start. Like most of the businesses you start, you're going to fail. You know, you're going to fail. I think the statistics say that like every successful entrepreneur has failed 6 times before they succeed. And that's about accurate, right? Because like I've tried a lot of different things. I run an Amazon business right now that is specifically media based. So I just sell used books on Amazon. It's really simple. Like I've written books about this. You know, we've made videos about this in the past. But I have an Amazon used book business, and I think there's 2 different ways to profit from Amazon. You know, there's 2 different ways to profit, right? When you sell on Amazon, you can start your own private label business, which is just a lot of risk. It's just a lot of risk, okay? Because you have to order. You can use Alibaba, like that's what Alibaba's for. Alibaba basically is a wholesaler. So you can say you want to start a yoga mat company. You can find some cheap yoga mats at like $3 a piece. Have the sellers on Alibaba stamp your business logo on them and ship them to an Amazon warehouse, and boom, you got your own private label yoga mat business. You could sell it for $20 on Amazon. The problem though is that niches change so fast. Like, use fidget spinners, for instance, right? Fidget spinners was the hot product for a few months, but then everybody started getting them, and so a lot of people bought fidget spinners, and then once they stopped selling, they had to just sit on all that inventory. And so it's a huge risk. If you go to a website called flippa.com, you can see people trying to sell their Amazon FBA businesses, and you can see the margins they're making. They might make like 10% margin. Like, they may spend $10,000 a month on inventory, and they may profit $1,000 from that $10,000 in sales, right? So the margins are not that good with Amazon FBA for most products. The products that sell are going to change so fast that you're risking thousands of dollars. And if you want to get started with Amazon FBA, you're going to have to put up thousands and thousands of dollars. There's a lot of people selling courses on FBA, on Amazon FBA, and they're just making money from courses. But Amazon FBA is not that easy. It's a huge risk. People lose a ton of money doing so, and it's just not going to be good for a lot of people. It's just going to cause people to risk a ton, lose a bunch of money, right? That is Amazon FBA. But what you really want to understand is that there's other ways to start and sell on Amazon. Like I said, like, I have a used book business. I've got about 10,000 books in my inventory. So I've got thousands and thousands of books. If you look underneath me right now, let me see if I can show you guys this real quick. If you look underneath me, I'm going to show you guys this. Yeah, I'll show you guys. Like, look at this. I don't know if it'll let me. You guys see that? That's books. You can't really look under my desk, but I'm sitting under so many different books right now. Like, it's like a throne of books, really. It's like a throne of books. And so I'm sitting under so many books. There's like a throne of books underneath me, and I've just got multiple rooms in my house. But it's the single easiest way to make money from Amazon. Let me put this. Yeah, it's the single easiest way to make money from Amazon. Here, I'm just going to put this down. But yeah, Amazon FBA is the single easiest, or selling books and media products on Amazon is the single easiest way to make money. And the way you do it is you take a Bluetooth barcode scanner. I use one called the KDC 200. Right, it's called a KDC 200. It scans barcodes and it hooks up to an app on your phone. And you can program that app to make a noise for different books, right? So say I wanted to buy books that were only worth over $15. Only worth over $15, and that were at a certain popularity level to where they would sell fast, right? And so I would program that scanner to ring when a book that I scan fits that criteria, okay? And so what you do is you go to Amazon, or you go to Goodwill, and you go to thrift stores. Charity thrift stores actually have the best books because they're cheap. They're like 50-cent books, right? And you could buy books for like 50 cents, $1 at these thrift stores. And what you do is you go there with this Bluetooth barcode scanner, and you just scan. And you keep scanning until you hear your phone ring. And when your phone rings, that means that the book you're scanning is worth over $15 and it's popular. And so you could buy that book for 50 cents and sell it for $15 plus. And I've found books that were worth hundreds of dollars that have sold very, very quickly. I had a book that was a Star Wars role-playing book. I bought a whole set of it for $2. I sold the set for $500 less than a day later. And so you're going to get that all the time. And so if you go to a different thrift shop every day, you could potentially get hundreds of books a day. Right, you get hundreds of books a day, each worth over $15. What's the math, team? Just to show you guys the math, okay? You get, say you buy 100 books a day, right? And each book is worth $15. That's $1,500, okay? Very profitable business. And it's going to take time, and you're going to have to invest money into books and invest money into products, inventory. You're going to have to ship them yourself because you can use FBA for this, to where Amazon's going to ship them for you. But I shipped them myself. I bought bulk bubble wrapped envelopes. You can use media mail. Amazon credits you for shipping. You can use media mail. Amazon credits you $4 per sale for shipping. it really only costs about $2.50 to ship a book, right? Under £1. So you're profiting just off of the shipping price alone. And like Amazon's going to take fees, but like that's the single most profitable business that anybody can start very, very quickly. You know, like if you're struggling right now from this pandemic, if you don't have money, if you got laid off and you're in a decent sized city, like I'm in Houston, so I can go to a different thrift stop every single day and just go the rounds, make a whole loop around the city is what I do sometimes. But you can build that business to make thousands and thousands of dollars a month. Very easy, right? At this point, I've got so much inventory, it doesn't even matter. I don't even have to go out and get books very much. But that's the single easiest way to start a business from home. It's the easiest way to build a profitable business very quickly, and it's got a great margin for it. Way better than Amazon FBA. Now, sure, there's less potential there, but like that's the way you do it. And like that's the way you build it. And like I said, I've done this for years, and it's easy. It's a simple business, but it makes money. And you might think that you're not going to find that many good books. Depending on where you are, bro, there's tons of books that are super valuable that people just give away, you know. Like I said, I've sold books that were worth hundreds of dollars, you know, very, very quickly that I bought for $1, you know. And so it's very easy to do. You just got to work. It's work. It's not passive. You got to work to do it. You got to go out and you got to hit the rounds and you got to do it consistently. And you're not going to make much money at first because it's going to take a little bit of time to build inventory. But once you do, the single most profitable business that you can build within a day or two. You know, easy to set up. The app is I use an app called A Seller Tool. A Seller Tool is the name of the app I use. I think most people do it. It's FBA Scan in the App Store, but it's a subscription. And so I pay like $20 a month, $10 a month. I pay $10 a month for the subscription, and it's the app that tells me how much the books are worth, what's the lowest price they're selling for online, how popular they are, and it's the app that basically tells me. Yeah, the barcode scanner works with anything with a barcode. So anything with a barcode, you can scan it, and it'll tell you what the lowest price it's selling for on Amazon, eBay, all that stuff. But yeah, that's the easiest business you could start. That's what I've done. And yeah, I think it's a good lesson though here, team, because I think a lot of people, they bet everything into their trading, right? They put everything into their trading to where they quit their job and they try to just do trading full time, right? That's so much pressure to be on yourself as a trader that you're probably just gonna lose. You know what I mean? It's so much pressure. Where if you have a backup option, like for me, even if trading, I know if trading doesn't work, I've got a million other things I can do, right? And I'll be okay regardless of any of that, regardless of trading, regardless of YouTube, regardless of any of it, I'll be fine. But I think a lot of people put so much invested into trading that they don't have a backup option, and I think that causes so much pressure and stress. People are taking loans out to trade. It's just not the right thing you want to do. You want to have a backup option. There's nothing wrong with learning a new niche of business to get involved with. And I think having a backup option, whether it be programming like me, whether it be Amazon like me, regardless of what it is, right? Having that backup option is going to benefit you as a trader. The app is called A Seller Tool, and Amazon FBA Scan. The scanner is called a KDC 200. But there's a lot of different ones. There's a lot of different scanners. The KDC scanner. Listen, you can use your phone. You don't even need the scanner. Like, you can just use your phone. You can use your phone's camera and scan the barcode that way. So you can just use your phone. You don't need the scanner. But I've done this for years. When you use your phone, it's going to take you so much longer. It's going to take you like 5 to 10 seconds per book if you use your phone, right? And what the Bluetooth scanner does is it allows you to download the entire database to your phone, And then scanning is so quick. You can just scan until you hear the alert that, okay, this book fits that criteria, right? So you can just scan, and you're gonna save so much time doing so, it's gonna pay for itself, right? To where if you use your phone, it's gonna be scan. And it's going to take way longer, right? But if you use the barcode scanner and you download the database to your phone, it's just bam, 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 until you hear the jingle, you know, and then you know. Goodwill. Yeah, you can use the Amazon seller app, but it's going to take twice as long. Like, you can use the Amazon seller app, but it's going to take you twice as long. Like having a third-party app and having a third-party database that you can download. Like, the key is downloading the database to your phone, right? If you get one of these apps, you can download the entire database to your phone to where it doesn't load, right? To where if you don't download it, you got to wait for the data to load, and you got to use a bunch of your phone data, and you got to sit there and wait for like 3 or 4 seconds just for it to pull up. To where if you download it to your phone, it's just instant. It's just bam, bam, bam. That's what you want to do. That's the fastest way, at least. Hey, nice. I'll check that out, Tribreed. I appreciate that. Where you buy your books from? Goodwill, charity thrift stores, mostly library sales. Mostly Goodwill and charity thrift stores that we're gonna have the most. Like, my specific thing is I go to charity thrift stores. They'll sell books for like 50 cents. Sometimes religious books are worth a ton as well. Like, religious books are one of the most expensive niches in books, right? So, but charity thrift shops are usually gonna be very, very cheap with what they sell, like 50 cents, sometimes 20 cents, sometimes $1. Goodwill, you're going to run into a lot of people that are doing the same thing, right? Very saturated, but charity thrift stores are usually the best spot for it. All right, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, team. I'll see you guys a little bit later. You guys want to help support your boy here? Y'all go check out Webull. You get 1 free stock if you sign up and deposit $100. You get a free stock if you sign up and deposit $100, candlestick charts, news releases, free paper trading, and a free scanner on Webull. And so, like I said, if you're a new trader and you want to get started, check out Webull. If you deposit $100, you get a free stock. You could sell the stock, buy options, contracts, all that good stuff, and free simulation, free paper trading, 0 commission stock and options trading, and a lot of other good stuff. So go check out Webull. There's the link for that. Like I said, guys. If you want to check out trade ideas, like the scanners I'm using are trade idea scans and just really dope scans. If we look at this channel bar here, depending on what your sector or niche is in the market, say you like earnings plays, right? Boom. Earnings breakdown. Say you like cannabis stocks. Boom. Cannabis section. Say you like options. Boom. Option section. Say you like pre-market, boom, momentum, social media, swing trading, trade the gaps, gappers, if you like gappers, whatever your niche is in the market, Trade Ideas has got you covered. You can also build your own specific personal scanners, like your own customized scanners there. And so go check out Trade Ideas as well. You can build your own scans or use the preset selection like this. And I'll post this link here. Y'all go check it out. You can use promo BT15 for 15% off on Trade Ideas. There's the link for that. And we'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Love you all. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We got a video dropping this afternoon, guys, so be on the lookout for that video. We'll see you guys later. Have a good day. I love you all. We'll see you guys next time. And peace, team. Later, guys.